listening to the Pelicans Postgame Report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
Perfect. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever. Ain't gon' lie, I feel flyer than I ever been. We stay ballin', this New Orleans, I'm a Pelican. It's going down in the nest, wild, wild west. Come in town and you best show us some respect. 3-point threat, I better make it rain. If it's something, don't jump stupid like your ankle sprain. Always said, never hate the player, hate the game. Jumper where the dame late, punch a train. Post game, big Q, talking about business. Bird gang, YouTube, they ain't flocking with us. Lock up the division mission, get into the finals. Finish competition, then it's going win the title. I know this flyer than you can get. Such a threat that the refs just might call a tag. You could double, you could press, but you can't check. Right, left, slide by you like a Eurostep. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever. And never, and never, and never, and never, and never, and never. Say birds of a feather flock together. Yeah, fly die, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever.
All right, shout out to the fam. Appreciate y'all being in this live, man. For all things Pelicans, man. We up in this thing. Jesus Christ. We up in this thing. Much love to the fam, man. Appreciate y'all being in the building for this episode of the Pelican Postgame Report. Listen, fam, this one's called Pels Easily Dispatched by Cavs Reserves 128-100. 4-12, the Pels are in this matchup. So very interesting. In this one, of course, entirely shorthanded. I mean, BI didn't play, obviously. We kind of covered that in the flash report earlier today. And the Pels go down again. This is the third straight, and it's like, what is it? Since the Atlanta game back in November the 3rd, it's like it's a bunch of L's, fam. I mean, we'll go over some of this stuff, man, but shout out to you guys. Appreciate y'all being in the live. Please do us a service. Hit the like button. Much love. Appreciate you, Jan, for becoming a new member live. Shout out to you, brother.
Thank you. Fuck too kind.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate you. And much love. Appreciate the rest of the fam for being in the stream, man. Another loss for our Pelicans tonight, 128-100. This time not a 41-point win by our adversaries, but rather this time a 28-point win. So we are diligently working our way down. We're currently ravaged by injuries and obviously by a poor effort. Regardless of who they are, our effort sucks. One of you guys got a echo going on. But anyway, in this one, man, let's kind of touch on it. We got Willie's post game coming up. And matter of fact, here's Willie right here to explain away what's been happening. Here we go.
I thought the guys played with force. I'm real proud of the guys. They showed a lot of effort and energy. We can't hit multi-dimensional Willie. Turn him up.
So just extremely proud of him and the resiliency that it takes, the faith that it takes to stick with it.
Can't make this shit up, Alex.
I thought y'all might want to hear him in the opposite way.
He's proud. I already told you he's proud.
Back in the NBA, actually where he belongs. He's an NBA point guard. And then Antonio Reeves coming off the bench, 34 points, played him 40 minutes. So those are some bright spots. But the guys, they went out and they fought. We just couldn't sustain it in the second half, and they hit
in a perpetual war where we never win. We're always fighting.
Seemed like he really. I mean, he has 4. I know some of those turnovers are more guys not being where he thought they were going to be, or things like that. But how much of a calming presence did he been, especially as we've kind of struggled with turnovers in the last few games?
Yeah, he was great. He was great to not have played an NBA game going on 2 seasons, and to be able to step on the floor and have such a demand of the offense and control over what's going on the floor. He made some early turnovers, which is rust, but 8 assists, finding guys on time, on target. He's a really good defender, can rebound. It was good to have him out on the floor, and we needed him.
And then Antonio,
Yeah.
it's a nice birthday to have, I guess.
Yeah, it is.
You want the win, but
it is.
I think he had only had 23 points total coming into this game. What's it like seeing a guy who's been putting in the work? And I know it's again not ideal circumstances, but to see him have a game like that,
it's pretty awesome to see him step on the floor and go out and play hard and play with confidence. And it's a credit to Jody Meeks and our Birmingham squadron team. He was there working a bit with TJ Saint and those guys. So I really give the credit to them, just staying with it, working hard. Tone coming in the gym every day, getting his shots up.
Maybe we could send Willie down to the G League.
Playing discipline, and it all
take their coach
when you get on the floor.
Work on his coaching.
Tough is it?
Yeah, let's get Saint and bring him up here.
When you look at 8, 9 guys out, and you're trying to get all of your concepts in, and there's guys who haven't kind of run things, and it's you're supposed to close out to this guy. That maybe this guy is not supposed to get run off the line. Just how difficult is this without having these guys? I'm sure any team, if you take away their top 8 or 9, are going to be in the same spot.
Yeah, it's definitely it's difficult. It's challenges involved in it. It's hard, but when you're in adversity, when you're facing these difficult moments, for us is to stay steady, stay consistent, and eventually it turns. And this makes us stronger. It's hard to go through it. Nobody wants to go through the hard moments in life, or whatever it is you choose to do. But the only way to get through it is to go through it like we are. And I'm super proud of our guys, how they've continued to stick together.
We're really proud. Proud family.
All right, Willie, speaking about just adversity, and to be
he's speaking on how proud he is.
Proud.
Yeah, that's all he said. He didn't speak on adversity. He just said the word.
He's proud.
That's
he's proud
all.
With having adversity.
He's proud with mediocrity. He's proud with with having a losing mentality. He's proud not being able to coach. These are the things that he's proud of, and that's a problem. That's a problem. But go on, Big Q. I didn't mean to, he just said the word adversity, but he didn't really talk about adversity for real.
No, that's fine. It's a lot going on in this game. Of course, I got the article up to one of our website contributors, Rail Wright, our key Pelicans contributor and writer for the WhoDatDaily.com, put together, an article about this today about Brandon Ingram's issues. And of course, he put in here a table here, a graphic of the injuries dealing with the Pelicans. Also, some of the information that I said to him was dealing with the Brandon Ingram. And of course, we'll have more as time comes out about Brandon Ingram. But, when they tell you stuff, we always look up. We hit the medical journals, we hit the websites, and we start looking up and researching these injuries, because that's the mind frame that you have to have when you're dealing with people like David Griffin, who often bends the truth. And, we catch them all the time. And you have to kind of do the knowledge, look up and do your own research on these injuries and find the real timelines, because they'll bend these timelines. They'll add extra weeks or even months to the timelines on top of these players, or just totally misreport an injury. And I'm not saying that's the case now, but we'll talk about this later on the back end of the broadcast as we move into it. But tonight, man, the back to back. You had a 41-point loss yesterday and a 28-point loss today. The team missing a lot of talent. And I think the family members aren't like saying, hey, man, we know it's going to be an uphill battle to win some of these games, because you got basically third stringers out there running around trying to make plays. But I think they're more concerned at some of these games about the effort, how the effort looks. But I'll tell you one thing, DC, Lex, if it wasn't for Antonio Reed's 34 points tonight, this team would have got plastered. They would have gotten literally laughed at. And then these guys, the Cavs had basically, a handful of guys, mostly reserve players that we see. Of course, Evan Mobley played 18 minutes, and you've seen a couple of minutes by some of these other guys. But I meant, to be honest with you, man, they just put their reserves in there and just ran the game, man. And it was just coaching. Ty Jerome getting these shots and Willie. We're going to get into it. But let me before we get into it, let me get these stats out of the way so the family members can have a free runway to land here. Let's take a look at it, fam. The Pels tonight, 42.4% from the field, 39 of 92. The Cavs were 49 of 93 for almost 53%. The Pelicans shot 8 for 31 from downtown for 26%. The Cavs were 18 of 42 for 43%. They hit 10 more three-pointers. 10 more three-pointers than you. Let's bounce back. Here's Antonio Reeves. He deserves a spotlight. Let's hear from him.
And I know you probably like for this to come to win, but just overall, what did it mean today to be able to have this kind of game on this day for you?
It means a lot. It means really everything. Coaches have faith in me, players have faith in me, and I just went out there and played, gave it all I got, 100%. And it's my birthday. I had to show up, but I just went out there and competed.
40 minutes too. You a little tired on that?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. First game, really out there. For the first time. So, I'm blessed for the opportunity.
And when you have a lot of injuries, guys, and that's something that we've been dealing with for all season. How have you kind of stayed ready and knowing there's going to be a time where I'm called up, and I know that some of the games you have played haven't maybe gone the way you wanted, but having that faith to know that, all right, we're going to get there, things are going to work out.
Yeah, just like you said, having faith, just staying ready, learning how to stay ready, just a process. I'm a rookie, and I definitely learned from guys like CJ, DeJounte, all of them. Just they tell me all the time, just be ready and stay focused, and just be in the gym every day. So yeah.
Tonight you started. We know you as a shooter. Tonight you started inside and then kind of worked your way out. Was that kind of a conscious effort to hey, let me take what they're? Is that what they were giving you, or was it a conscious effort of hey, let me try to get to the rim and get some easy stuff and then kind of move out?
A little bit of both. Just being a basketball player, I missed my first 2 shots, and I just decided to try to attack the rim. So just being a basketball player and knowing that if your 3 not falling, attack the rim a little bit and try to get yourself going that way. Yeah.
Thanks, Tom.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, shout out to that brother, man. That brother did a good job tonight, man.
Real high for that man.
Yeah, that brother did a good job tonight, man. He would have this team would have got destroyed. He put up 30.
Second leading scorer in Pels history as a rookie too.
That's pretty damn good, man. And that's one of the bright spots here when you talk about all the adversity with all the stuff that's going on, that you get to see live game reps with guys like Reeve and Brandon Boston, and Yves is getting a lot of time to develop, because if the tables would turn out, I probably would think Yves would not be getting in the rotation. So it's good seeing some of this stuff happen. So when ultimately some of these guys get back, you might see a turn for the better if you can stay on code, man.
I think we could have seen a turn a lot earlier, man. As you can see in the beginning of the game, looking at the impact that Alpha Payton had.
Yeah, right.
They actually looked really good till later in the second quarter. They couldn't overcome the shooting, man. The shooting was horrific, as you're going to go over the team stats.
Yeah, let me barrel through these, DC, because I know you got a lot to talk about on this one, man. The Pelicans tonight were 14 of 22 from the foul line for 63.6%. The Cavs got to the line 14 times, 12 of 14 for almost 86%. Cavs out-rebounded the Pelicans 53 to 40. They out-assisted the Pelicans 23 to 29-23. They outstole the Pelicans 10 to 9. They outblocked the Pelicans 9 to 3. They did have more turnovers by 3, and they gave up 11 points. Pelicans had 11 turnovers with 13 points off of them. The fast break game was 14 all, and they did win the points of the paint, barely 58-54 advantage Cleveland. Then, of course, you shift to the individual statistics. The top guy, of course, we just heard from an Antonio Reeves in 40 minutes, 34 points. He was 14 of 25 from the field, 4 of 12 from downtown, 2 of 2 from the foul line. Finished with 3 points and 4 boards. And his effort On 14 points for Brandon Boston in 34 minutes of action. He finished with 5 assists, 3 rebounds on 5 of 18 shooting from the field. He was 0 for 5 from downtown and 4 of 6 from the field. 12 from Yves in 19 minutes of action, 4 of 8 from the field. He had 8 rebounds to go along with his 12 points. 11 from Elfrid Payton in 22 minutes. He was 5 of 8 from the field. 0 for 1 from downtown, did hit a free throw, and finished with 8 assists and 5 rebounds for the night for Elfrid Payton in some starting action. Jeremiah Robinson Earl had 9 points in 35 minutes with 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals for him. And then off the bench, Jamal Cain in 31 minutes. He had 9 points, 4 boards, 2 assists, 3 steals on the day. And of course, you look at on the other side of the court, their top guy was Ty Jerome, 23 minutes, 29 points. Guy was 7 of 12 from downtown. George Niang, who looks like this guy looked like a Three Stooges player. I mean, he got bad footwork. He got a ball spot on top of his. I was like, this dude just looks weird, but he did some shooting on the Pelicans. He was 6 of 12 from downtown, plus 19 out there hustling, doing this thing. And a relic like Tristan Thompson actually got in the game. He had 8 points and 10 rebounds. He was in there doing this thing. And of course, you've seen Donovan Mitchell had 10 points, 16 from Jared Allen and 16 from Jalen Tyson. Remember him, DC? That was the guy we scouted and like a lot, man. We had a lot of good things to say about that brother, man. We was letting him, hey, Pelicans, y'all need to look at this brother. But Cleveland heard him. But anyway, that's a few of the things that we've seen.
Second round pick, right?
Yeah, let me pull him. Yeah, we were this dude here. We were putting him up when we were doing our when I was scouting. Hold on, that's the wrong guy. That's Ty Jerome. Where is he? There you go, Jalen
11
Tyson.
Rebounds and 7
Yeah,
assists.
16 points, 11 rebounds. That's his game. He almost had a triple double tonight, plus 20. This dude is a hustler, man. He was a first round pick. DC. I didn't know he went that high. I thought he was a second round pick too. Kind of lost him when the draft happened, but yeah, 20th pick. Future's bright with this kid. He could play, man. But anyway, let's kind of shift gears. DC, I know you want to talk about the Pelicans. Have at it, man. Oh, hold on, just a second. All world trucker. Well, guys, time to play the cleanup, man. All right,
Thank you. Fuck too kind.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. Yeah, let's get a good laugh.
Call me Santa friend, but I'm the cleanup man.
The reason I know so much about him is because he's moved up an old girl of mine.
Swept her right off her feet and into the jazz.
You see dancing right there, matter of fact. So big ups to y'all, man.
Why did they think it was a good idea to shoot the dance scene in their mama dining room?
Ask Willie G that, man. Why is his cousin dancing in this work gear, man? Straight out the plant.
In mama dining room.
They took the good
China down to do that.
No, the Ten Commandments plaque, all that was out. That's funny, but I found that. That was the Ten Commandments plaque. Yeah, most old school black people got that plaque in their house. We had that plaque. That's how it is, man. Throwback. But go ahead, DC. Floor is yours, brother.
Man, I just wanted to point out the 2 positives before we go ahead and get to the rest of this debauchery. Elfrid Payton. We said 2 weeks ago, man. Might have been longer than 2 weeks now. Might have been 3 weeks ago. When did DeJounte get hurt? Has it been 3 weeks now?
I forget.
The first game of the season.
I know, but I'm just trying to. How many weeks was that? But anyway,
probably 3.
Soon as
maybe 4,
Devontae got hurt, we was like, "Hey, we should call up.
Go get Elfrid Payton."
What'd they do? They wait till they absolutely forced to do that. Elfrid Payton came in, wasn't even fully in basketball shape, gave him 11-5 and 8 assists. And he was out there throwing dimes everywhere. If you was open, he was throwing the ball at you. Some of the guys couldn't even catch the damn passes. They weren't ready for him. It was perfect passes. Why did it take the Pels 3 weeks to figure out that they could actually look better offensively if they just got a goddamn point guard up. Just get anybody from any position that's a facilitator if you didn't want Alfred Payton. And the dude was actually out there like he knew the sets and knew what people were supposed to be. So you mean to tell me with all the problems we saw on offense, all the dysfunction, all the lack of movement, you had a dude on your G League team that trained with you during training camp, that knows the offense, could be a very much very, very lesser version of DeJounte in which you want.
He ain't lying.
And you just now bringing him up after you lost 11 games?
The joke.
Why?
Man. It's just a joke, man.
Why?
Shit ain't hard, man.
And we were saying this. We said this right after. Actually, I think
we said it. No,
a disservice because
DC. We said that during the preseason.
They were going to bring up Alfred Payton after Devontae got hurt, and we said during the preseason, you shouldn't cut him,
right?
Because you know Jose Alvarado is going to get hurt. Jose Alvarado gets hurt every year. Yeah. This is not a surprise. And what happens if Jose gets hurt? Even if DeJounte was healthy, we still would have had an issue with a backup point guard because Jose gonna get hurt. We know CJ gonna get hurt at some point, and you know Zion gonna miss some time at some point. So who's your other facilitator? Oh, I guess we were just gonna stagger Brandon Ingram with DeJounte Murray, right? You know, it's seeing how smooth they looked. You know, I was supposed to be happy. How smooth. I'm like, oh, wow, they're really hanging in there for the first quarter. I thought, you know, they probably got blowed out by now. It was 2 minutes left, and it was still a game in the first quarter. Seeing how smooth they looked, I actually was disappointed. I was like, why the hell they didn't bring up for Payton, man? Crazy. And then looking at Antonio Reeves, it was the same thing, Q. I'm like, wait a minute. This dude, it's how many minutes in he got 13 points? Well, how many minutes left in the first quarter? It's like, why the hell has he been on the bench this whole time and we ain't got nobody? Why he ain't been getting minutes? It's
vision, dude.
It's mind-boggling. Just we can't even lose games we're supposed to lose correctly, man. When everybody's out, you're supposed to get your young guys minutes. We just go in the opposite direction, man. It's baffling and shit. You hate to be right all the time when you're saying stuff, but it's like, man, everything we say here, if it don't show up immediately, it only takes like a month or 3 weeks or so, and it's circling right back around. And then you look way down the line, they finally getting around to doing it. It's like, damn, everything got to be reactionary. We can't like be in front of anything. So apparently we should be in front of BI getting hurt for real because they said he was out as a precaution. Y'all heard that?
As a precaution? The double ankle sprain.
It was a precaution.
Man, this is not a surprise, bro. I mean, this is just what they do. Lex, what do you think?
I agree with DC.
Forgot about Carlo Givello. But go ahead, Lex. You got it.
Nah, I agree with you. That was actually the first thing I was going to bring up. But to answer your question, the Pelicans organization is slow. They're not trying to win. And they just, you know, they're not forward thinking. They're not forward thinking. And everything that the Pelicans do is reactive. They move like molasses, the syrup. Okay? Molasses. Okay? That's old school, y'all. Ask your grandma, your grandpa about it. But that's how they move. And that's always how they've moved. Like, I'm trying to figure out when this organization is going to get proactive instead of reactive. And that's the thing here. I mean, it's like when you see a problem, like, you know, I don't know how everybody deals with their problems, but if you have a problem in any type of situation, you're trying to find a solution, like quickly rather than later, right? So the thing is that this organization, how they handle problems, it's one of those things. Look, y'all know how it is. I don't know. Some of y'all probably been late on a bill or something, like your phone bill or something. You know what I'm saying? Look, they gonna wait until the lights turn off. Look, they've been getting notifications that hey, you're gonna get your lights turned off, your phone's gonna cut off if you don't make your payment. You know what I'm saying? And they wait until the day of, you know what I'm saying, where they gonna turn the lights off and the phone be like, oh, we gotta do something. Oh, wait a minute, we don't got the funds. That's the Pelicans. They're waiting till the actual day that everything's going to get cut off. That's what they do. It's like, why do you have to be pushed to all the way that $1 billion corporation, might I add, $1 billion corporation, and you're waiting till the last day where your light's going to get cut off or your phone going to get cut off. Like they've already sent the notifications to your email. They've called you or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And you, oh, we forgot. How do you forget? How do you forget? You know what I'm saying? I mean, and the only thing is, it's like it's right there in front of you. You see, the team is hurt. You're dealing with injury. You need a point guard. You need someone who can settle down and run the offense. And you've had this guy in your back pocket, in the back. You know what I'm saying? He's been in your backyard the whole time, and you don't call him up. Like I don't understand why they're so reactive and not doing forward thinking. Because a lot of teams that deal with injuries, they move on stuff. It's like, look, are you all trying to salvage the season? Are you trying to do anything with this season in the positive direction? And I think really that's the question, because if you ask me, the way that they're moving, it really promotes no. They're not trying to win. They're not trying to, I don't know, put out the best product as possible out on the floor. You're just kind of winging it. I mean, really, it comes back to what they said. We're just trying to figure it out. They still figuring things out.
Yeah, this is very interesting, man. To be honest with you, the injury situation is just ridiculous. If you ask me, everything that we've been seeing with these is just the league is affected by, but we definitely affected. Here's Alfred Payton, fam. Let's hear from him.
That's a little premature question since you hadn't exactly hit the floor yet. Now that you've been back on the floor in your first game since April 22. How does it feel to be back?
I felt good. Felt good out there, just like I remembered it. I'm excited to get out there and play. Just grateful for that. But I felt good, man. I felt good.
How much did that little time you spent in camp and had some preseason games, this offense, how much did that help you out there getting back into it?
That helped a lot. Just having a familiarity with the guys a little bit. Obviously, we don't have, enough reps together, as you kind of seen tonight a couple of times. But it definitely gave me a head start tonight.
What did you think of the birthday boy, Antonio?
Man, Antonio's talented. It's just tough on a team like this. Usually, it's going to be hard for him to get reps, but, he's been thrown in a position where he has to play early. And I thought he played well tonight. He shot the ball well. He was aggressive when he needed to be. He's just going to keep getting better.
What do you say to guys? I mean, playing with a lot of young guys out there.
Yeah.
I guess you probably were the oldest guy.
Yeah, probably so.
What are you telling those guys who are getting 30 minutes, 28 minutes for like the first times and trying to work through all this?
Yeah, man, just progress. Have a little grace with yourself, but also demand greatness from yourself too. Try not to make the same mistakes twice. And just trying to compete at a high level as you're trying to, carve out a name for yourself in this league. So I just tell them, keep going, try to, like I said, don't make mistakes twice and compete at a high level. And, let the chips fall where they may. Yeah, for sure.
See, I told you to on first base.
That's right.
Man, shout out to Alfred Payton, man. Pelicans is definitely
We
slow.
finally got him in the house. 8 games later, Q. That's right.
Hey, man, we've said that, man. This shit is not hard,
You
man.
think we would have got how many more wins you think we would have got with Alfred Payton on all these games we lost?
I don't know, DC. Maybe a couple of wins. I mean, a couple of wins more. Just being conservative. Maybe 2 more wins. Because his intelligence, man, in terms of his basketball skills, the ability, his facilitation, his defense. I mean, Alfred Payton could help, and he should have never been relegated to the G League. When all of that was hashed out during the preseason, he should have been on this team as a backup guard. He should have been on this team because, like you said, if Jose Alvarado has an opportunity, if he doesn't stay healthy, then you can kind of move him in there and have him to do his thing. Like tonight, he didn't need much time to get the cooking and did what he did tonight.
I don't know if he continues if he can play like he played tonight in a regular game with everybody else. I say even if Jose is healthy, you still can find a way to add him, especially if guys are getting rattled and they can't get settled in. Man, you put him out there. He put a stop to that shit. He wasn't turning the ball over. Man, he had 4 turnovers, but a lot of them really wasn't on him.
Yeah, and the thing is too, DC too. He keeps everybody in the comfortable role. Like he's the floor general. He's the facilitator.
Right.
He's the guy. He settles everybody down. He gets everybody, like he keeps Brandon Boston where he needs to be. Keep guys in roles where they're supposed to be.
And that's why I was trying to jump in and say this before you move on.
Mm-hmm.
Antonio Reeves did awesome tonight, but I can't act like I didn't watch that game and watch Alfred Payton basically get him like his first 3-4 shots, easy shots to get him in rhythm, bro.
Right.
And look what it turned into. Help get his confidence up. Javonte Green was out there hitting shots. Like, I mean, at first, until they took him out, they were playing pretty well. And when they took him out, Cleveland started to build on the lead. And came back in, helped a little bit more. It was a night and day difference. Saying what they're trying to do, run, with an actual point guard and somebody who is part of their game to look to get people open, look to get people good shots, and paint the great don't look so bad, although we definitely would have had to hit a lot more 3-pointers tonight. But you go ahead and carry on, brother, and go to other player statistics.
I think that's everything right there in terms of this game.
We're not gonna go over the individual stats.
We already did.
Oh,
you wasn't paying attention. You got lulled into sleep by the Pelicans' funky, dysfunctional play.
Yeah.
Lex, you want to add to this?
Yeah, I liked Alfred Payton's activity out there. I think it helped Brandon Boston out a lot as well. Brandon Boston, I think he's a true 2. Because I mean he can handle the rock. I think he does, pretty well. But obviously, I think his strongest position is at that 2 position. I just think he was doing that by default and necessity.
That's right.
But I just think these guys, they did all right. I mean, obviously, as well as can be expected. I mean, Alfred was just caught up on today, but to do that impromptu type stuff, I mean, he did very well. So, for what it's worth, for who is out there and as well as the poor coaching, I mean, there's nothing more that you could have asked for.
True that. And shout out to my man, Carlo Makovic. Can't forget about him. Didn't really score, but he definitely was impacting defensively. In a 28-point loss, Carlo Makovic ended the game with a +4 and plus or minus. 2 steals, and he definitely had 2 blocks. I saw that too, Jay Carvello. 2 steals, 2 blocks, 5 rebounds. After Trey Jemison was getting cooked last night and didn't play all that well today either. they threw Carlo out there. And I thought he looked a lot better than he looked yesterday. And it just for me, man, that's what these games are about. Like now, we playing a team like that where you know you're not gonna win. Man, give all the young guys minutes. Give all the guys who you want to see what they got. You know what you got in Trey. You know what you got in Daniel Tice, obviously. So he wasn't out there. Give all the young guys minutes. All of the Antonio Reeves. If it wasn't his birthday, would he have really played 34 minutes? Because you know how Willie Green
think
do. He rewards you with minutes for your birthday. We learned that.
Well,
He
that
did
was
that
only
for
4
Jay
minutes.
House.
That was
Yeah.
only 4
he
minutes.
gave
That
him
was on.
4 minutes.
Yeah, that was what 4 minutes he gave.
It was 4 minutes.
Yeah, so I mean
He really didn't have a choice but to play him.
he had to play him. They were incredibly shorthanded tonight. So that'll do it for in terms of that situation. The Pelicans' next adversary doesn't get any easier because the Golden State Warriors are coming to town. They're coming to town.
Steph now. We couldn't beat them without Steph. Now they got Steph.
That'll be Friday, DC in the Smoothie King Center, 6:30 tip-off time in the Smoothie King Center. The Golden State Warriors, 10-3.
Steph might not play, bro. He got a little thing with the Smoothie King Center. He always be missing games.
I think he's playing, bro.
And
You know what?
when he
That's
do play, it don't be good.
That's a good point. Why can't the Pelicans full court press? Why haven't they tried that? Especially if the defense is struggling, that's something that can kind of help. Just
Lex, these people can't
raise
play
the
a zone,
intensity.
man. They can't play zone.
I mean,
Now
I know
we're gonna try
they
to get
can
them to
play
do it.
zone, but I mean a full press. I'm not saying play a zone full press. You can. There's man full press too.
So you want them to play man full press?
Yeah.
These are the same cats that run under these.
Like just to change things up, like try something different. Well, never mind. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And
But it
apparently
is
ain't
broke.
nothing broken. No, according to Willie Green, he said they just need to keep doing what they're doing, right? So apparently nothing's broken.
They're dealing with adversity. So just like in
Ain't
life,
nothing broken.
we got to make our way through adversity.
just like in life, whatever you're dealing with, their life comes with adversity.
You just got to be proud.
You know what? It's like
You just have to be able to weather the storm.
Man, he's handling adversity like he don't feel nothing.
They getting paid very well too, Lex.
He's totally like usually when you're dealing with adversity, man, you feel stuff a little bit more. That dude don't have a lick of conviction, man.
It's his faith.
He really don't.
He uses the force.
It's
his faith. It's his faith. Brian says, Q, why don't you go on to Sports Talk Radio in New Orleans and let them know how you feel about the Pelicans and how they're playing? Who am I supposed to talk to?
Look, it ain't Big Q who needs to vent. Shoot.
I mean, who am I supposed to talk to, brother?
Needs to clean house.
Because a lot of them cats listen to us. That's and I've been saying this for a while, man, is that, and you've seen this happen during the election too, that the influencers are the kind, they call it content creator influencers, basically the community. The people resonate with people that's from the community because they see them as such. And what happens is, and a lot of times, they had the ability to greatly affect the narrative that the legacy media was trying to build with these political candidates. Their narrative and their lies, which were incredibly horrible this time around, just straight outright lying. And the people seen it, spit on them, cast them down, and really just threw them out of there. Just totally went at them. So they didn't believe them. They shut them down. A lot of their platforms are collapsing. They're firing in these high-ranking top mouthpieces. A lot of them getting caught taking money and all this kind of stuff. I told y'all, but when it was happening, we was on it. I was telling y'all that it's all falling apart. That they're losing control of your mind, and people are starting to use their mind. So a lot of the legacy operations, when you cross over to sports, is nearly the same thing. They read off of teleprompters. They got narratives that they push for their bosses. We don't have no narratives here. We only care about the truth and getting it right. That's all we about. And the community resonates with that. So, like I said, that's what it is, fam. So, they listen to it. In many cases, our views and our collective of all our platforms, those people know who we are, man. We are the community, and a lot of time we're not listening to them no more because most of the time they're not answering the right questions. They're too lenient with these people when they need to be more aggressive with them in their questioning, because a lot of them, like I told y'all before, a lot of, no disrespect, but a lot of these people don't pay for no tickets. You the only one paying for tickets. You the only one paying for gear. Most of these people don't pay for no tickets. They got passes. They walk right up in that goddamn place. They're getting paid to do a job. So if the Pelicans lose, they might, talk a little softer because they don't want to be insensitive to the report, to the coaches or the players when they lose. But at the end of the day, it hits different when you asking questions versus them. So that's all I'm saying. But yeah, I appreciate it, Brian. But we talking to him right now, brother. We talking to him right now, and they listen, bro. We've been doing this for a long time, brother. We've been here, holding it down, talking real. Our message has not changed. That's why people got love for us. Our message has not changed, man.
Mm-hmm.
We still 10 toes down doing it. But go ahead, DC. I'm sorry. What you was
Man,
gonna say,
the total opposite of that, Q. Everything you saying was channeled in the total opposite of that. In today's game, when I turned it on, right, and they had a segment before the game where they talking about they want to give a shout out and praise to BI. Talked about how he playing this season and you couldn't ask more of him, and he switched up his shot pro and he's evolving. I'm like, look at this shit here. We're 2-11. What the fuck are y'all talking about? They had
that's the trick that they.
And your voice popped in my head too. Like I say, boy, if Lex seen this, Lexxah have field deal with this.
Oh,
it was
there's a lot of things coming to my mind right now.
And you just hearing the second hand.
I told y'all.
It was the what Aaron Summers and the other guy. They do like this pregame show before Joe Meyer and AD.
Wesley, Wesley Johnson.
Wesley Johnson was just giving.
I thought David Wesley was
all the props in the world, man.
That boy need a Cajun injector. He's so dry. I'm like, damn, why can't he get somebody with some personality? But anyway, go ahead, DC.
We are 2-11, and he's talking about how BI playing, and you can see what he's doing with shooting his 3-pointers, and his game is evolving and growing past the mid. And all I could think
you can't fall for that trash, man.
No, Lex. All I could think was this is exactly what a losing organization would do.
Losing mentality. Yes, and we talk about that all the time.
Be happy with that winning mentality. Scum of the bottom shit, man.
This organization has not had that. They are so deep with having a losing mentality. It's not even funny. And then
BI is playing good though.
They want to sell. Man, let me tell you something.
We losing.
Thank you.
Yes.
How much is that dude getting paid right now?
Who, Willie?
No, Brandon.
North of 30
million, baby.
Okay.
North of 30 plus.
That's what you're paid to do. Let's not kid ourselves here. Because the thing is that the same thing would be said of Zion if the team was losing. Same thing with McCollum, who's making 33.33 million.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we talking about here? What are we talking about? Dog, he's getting paid. He's getting paid like a star. Why are you praising him? Oh, he's doing so. He's supposed to do that. If he's the star that you say that he is, you know what I'm saying? A star should be able to carry the team, right?
Yeah, what I heard.
Am I mistaken?
Stars get you wins by themselves.
Yeah. The same thing if Zion was out there and BI wasn't. Dog, you're getting paid like a star.
This is true.
You're getting paid like a star. That is your job. You know, and the thing is like, look, Brandon had 17 points. He wasn't even the leading scorer against the Mavs.
Oh, wait. I got one for you, Lex. I heard this.
What's going on?
Oh, they double teamed Brandon all game. It's amazing that he got 17 points with the way he was being double teamed.
Kyrie got double teamed too.
Brandon is the only one that gets double teamed because everybody.
No, that's what stars get. Like when Zion's out there, and like I've seen times where Zion's out there, McCollum's out there, Brandon's out there. Zion is getting double and triple teamed. We've seen this, right? We've seen, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, dog, what are you talking about? Yes, like if you're a star, yeah, that's what happens. That's what happens.
I mean, he's the option one for the offense, and everything flows through you.
He's brand new to this. Like, dude, like I don't, because my thing is like, why are you struggling on passing out of a double team?
Almost like he never seen it before.
If you're a star,
they say they practice well.
Why do you have problems? Why do you have different hiccups passing out of a double team? That because as a quote unquote star, that's what you deal with all the time. That's not uncommon. Like, I'm really confused because it's almost like, again, this is a celebratory of mediocrity. Like, let's not kid ourselves. If Brandon is the star that you say that he is, why are you talking him up like, oh, he's working so hard against a double team? Dog, like, man, I remember KD, she said, dog, I got 5 players guard me. He has Devin Booker on the floor with him, and he has 5 people guarding him. Think about what he just said. KD said that. And it's right. You know, I mean, that's normal. That's his norm. You see how the difference of the mentality? And that's just like same thing with LeBron. That's like, dog, that ain't nothing. Yeah, that's expected. Even with another star on the floor, yeah, I'm getting double team. I'm getting triple team. They want that ball out of my hands. Doncic. Shoot, Anthony Edwards, Shai Gilgeous, for crying out loud. With the exceptions of playing the Pelicans, because the Pelicans just going to put one player on them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's
same thing with Booker.
Wait. We gonna take and we gonna switch our center onto their best player. How about that?
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's a great idea right there.
Switch everything.
Check this out. Louisiana boy. My man said y'all delusional if y'all think anyone getting wins with that team. Well, I'll say this, Louisiana boy. It ain't about whether they're getting wins or not with that team. We don't expect Brandon to have his team 8-2 or whatever the record should be based on how many games we play, right? It's the fact that we're losing and it's all this goddamn praise and happiness in losing.
There's nothing happy
about
it.
And then we've watched these games. All of these games, regardless of how many people we missing, we've seen at least 5 to 6 of these games be very winnable. Very winnable.
The Lakers game.
And we lost all of them.
That was a winnable game right there.
We lost all of them.
Played the night before too.
Let's say if they would have lost.
They were on the second of a back-to-back.
The Brooklyn game.
Yeah, the Brooklyn game lost by 2 points.
Yeah.
Blazers game.
Yeah.
You know,
these were all winnable games.
I think one of them Warriors game, we were right there. One of them.
No.
We got blown out both of them.
Yes, they were both blowouts.
Yes.
But the point is, they had at least six winnable games for sure. Well, we dropped the ball on all of them. Of course, you don't expect to win all of them.
We won.
But how will we look if we won half of those 6? You won 3 of them. Or let's say if you stole 2. Maybe the sentiments or the standpoint of what I'm saying might be a little different. But man, we are too happy with whatever we're able to do. That's just the thing. Like, it's like there's no standard on what's acceptable and what's not. Like, we're losing, right? We shouldn't be giving praise.
Losing.
Yeah.
Right. This isn't the time to give praise to anything. Getting blowed out we've gotten blowed out by 30. Probably twice this year. And then if you look up,
I mean, if
more than that,
3. I mean, they got 28 on tonight.
Right. And then how many times did we lose by 20? And then you add that up. You add that up with all of our losses. Man, it's not,
Yeah,
you don't want to lose.
it's a lot of bad blowouts, man.
Yeah, the
41.
point.
That,
Yeah,
mm.
the point is, it's not the fact that we anticipating. The thing is this, right? The upsetness from the flock is the fact that they're not competitive. We're not talking about the injuries because you're going to lose out on guys. You guys are going to get hurt, but you have to be competitive. You have to be able to play defense. The Lakers game, if they would have been smarter IQ wise, we talking about simple fundamental things that Willie Green struggles when he has starters. We talking about communication when they play in the zone and talking and stuff like that. We talking about effort and guys not running like they playing offense and not retreating and getting back in position because teams are running them off the floor. They know the Pelicans are lazy and getting back to the opposite side to play defense. So this is what we're talking about. And the contradiction is that Willie Green preaches this stuff during the pressers, the practice pressers that we post here. He also talks about this stuff in the post game. That's how we using his philosophy against him and the ill effects of the team. His whatever he's trying to teach the team is not sticking. They're not giving a full out effort, whether it's the starters or is it the reserves or the reserves. It's not a full out effort, and that's the problem. Like the Lakers game should have been a win for the Pelicans. The Brooklyn game should have been a win for the Pelicans. Even that Denver game should have been a win. The Joker didn't even play in that game, and the Pelicans had an opportunity to win that game against the Nuggets. So, I mean, we've had opportunities. I don't expect them to win all these games. By the way, they won out of the last 10. They won in 9 out of the last 10 games, by the way. 2 or 3 of those 10 games were wins with better effort. That's what we're hitting on here. That's what we're talking about. The effort aspect of it, not just fact
that it does make a difference. It really does. In that Lakers game, they actually had pretty good energy. I think the problem is that this team has never been used to coming out and playing with a high level of energy. I mean, if you can rewind all the games that you've seen, it's very few in between where this team comes out and they're playing right there from the jump. They're playing with energy. They're getting after it. I've seen other teams come out and immediately they're engaged in the game. You know, they're getting acclimated. They're hustling.
They're like tonight.
Energy. They're playing with effort. They're doing that from the jump.
Yeah.
It's like the Pelicans are still in warm-ups, warming up for the game. It's like, no, dog, the game has started. You should have already warmed up. It's time to, get at it. And these guys, it seems like, they're so used to coming out like that, kind of like lethargic and not really engaged, not a whole lot of energy or anything. They seem to come out more like that than they do getting after it immediately.
Right.
That's been a problem. We talked about that all last season. That was with the starters. They got off to too many slow starts. We didn't just start talking about this stuff. Really, a lot of things that we're talking about, it's the same thing that we saw in those 49-33 season last season.
Yeah.
You saw a lot of these flaws. Right now, it looks even bad because you don't have your starters.
Yeah.
Like, you have to see the game beyond just looking on paper. Everybody's so focused on those 49 win season. It's like, dude, you have to look at how was this team winning? And when you start dissecting the details, because the devil's in the details, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you start dissecting the details, it's like, man, this team has a lot of problems, a lot of things that are not being addressed. And again, the energy, because I don't know how many times I say energy all the time. That's one of the first things. Like, hey, Big Q, you asked that question. Lex, what's one of the things the team needs to do in order to get this win? First thing I always say is energy. I don't think I've ever said anything else. Because I know that this team has an energy problem. They don't come out the right way.
Force ain't enough?
It's not propelling them further enough, DC.
That ain't doing nothing. This team, they don't have and not just energy, energy that has some conviction with it, man. You got to play with that it factor.
It's old.
Like right now, that's
stale.
all.
His messages turn stale.
That's all. That's all this team has, y'all. Right now, there's not a lot of talent, right? There's not a lot of talent. You don't got your 7 best players out there.
All you got is energy and effort, Lex.
Exactly.
That's all you got.
That's something that you can't measure. That's something that can't nobody take that away from you.
That's right.
You can put as much energy and as much effort out there, and these dudes are professionals. So it's not like they don't know how to play basketball. It's not like they don't know how to play basketball. Like, dog, if I had that type of talent, hey man, sign me up for the league, please. Sign me up. Let me get one of them contracts. I know somebody up in here.
You could be the best on the team, Lexxah. Your first year, Willie not gonna play you.
You go send it to the G League.
Especially if you're good at offense.
Go send it to because Lex gonna clash.
If you got an offensive game, you can't play, Lex.
Lex gonna clash with him with philosophy, and he gonna send it down to the G League.
I was known for defense.
All right, well, shit.
Yeah, I was in really good.
She's still gonna clash with him because his defensive concept is different.
But I do have offensive game too. Don't get it twisted. I like to be a two-way player, but I was always guarding the best player on the other team. Okay. So yeah, and on for defense is a whole nother gear. So I get it. You got to be on a whole nother level of being in shape. You know, so I mean that effort and energy has to be there. That's the difference maker. That's all you have. If you have deficiencies in the talent level against the team that you're facing, the only thing left, you have to outplay them. You have to want it more. You have to win the 50-50 balls. You have to hustle. You have to want it more than the other team.
Not saying that. Not saying that. I'm not seeing that. I'm not seeing that from the Pelicans.
And that can make a world of a difference. It really can. And maybe some people may disagree. That's fine. But the thing is, let the Pelicans try it just one time. Just one time. The whole game. Come out, be like, man, I'm sick and tired of losing. Man, we winning this game. We gonna outwork. We gonna outplay. We gonna out hustle. We gonna get after it. We gonna get scrappy.
Lex, I'm gonna say this to David Griffin and the Pelicans organization. If you think this year, and I'm going to warn you right now, that you think that you can use injuries as an excuse this year for failure, you are sadly mistaken. That is over with.
Yeah, it really is.
You done did that for the last several years with this team. That excuse shit is not going to work this year. You're going to start seeing, you're going to get the same energy the Saints got. For them to start, for the owner, Gail, to go down past the two bums that's supposed to be watching the team and go and fire the coach. You're going to get that same energy. Just keeping it on you. That is because we've been dealing with this for the last 4-5 years. Yeah. And it's we don't, I don't care if it's happening to the league. I don't care. When the league was majority healthy, the Pelicans still were hurt. And then they got better last year because they, for the first time ever, hired a physical therapist. Tell me how stupid that sounds. So, like I said last show, the Pelicans finally caught up from a medical standpoint, getting a physical therapist. Now the injury situation has shifted yet again. And they're now on the tail end of it. That's why they're getting impacted rougher than everybody else. Everybody else got injuries to some of their people, but it's not the same. If you look at the Pelicans, their injury situation is utterly ridiculous. They've had 11, according to the graphic they had during the stream, they had 11 lineup changes. The closest team to them were 8 so far in the NBA season. So they're heavily impacted by injuries, which means the Pelicans have to now revamp and go into looking at the medical staff to get ahead of this new situation, because the league, like we talked about last night, the league, that's not going to change. The league wants more basketball. That's what the new agreements are about. They want to have a game on every night. So that means you are going to have to catch up, because they're not going to slow their money down for your ass.
No.
So there is no excuses that we've allowed you to march with that for a while. That is not going to help you this year. And like I said, this will be the year when Willie Green probably likely is going to get fired, because David Griffin set it all up like that. There's nobody else he can point his finger at. Trajan's gone. Trajan's gone. You can't blame Bryson. You can't blame Bryson. He just got here, so you can't put it on him. Trajan left because he's seen the guillotine dropping. Now the only person you're looking at is Willie Green. So Willie Green he is the one that's directly on that line to take that blow. And the crazy part about it, the guy that's going to more than likely do a 110% better job, because he's just a better offensive minded coach. He fits better with what they got on him, is Borrego. A lot of people don't like Borrego, but to be honest with you, man, Willie's not a strategic guy. He's not. Willie Green's a nice dude, but he's not a strategy. He's not a strategic guy.
Somebody, man, it's like, look,
he's not a strategy. He's not a strategy.
Go out there, play basketball, and win games. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, there's a lot of, even on championship teams, man, they didn't like each other. You heard about, the stories when they do these documentaries and things, how, man, like, golly, this dude didn't like this dude. But you know what? When them dudes got on the court, man, dude, I don't care if I like you or not. But we about to win this game. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking that too. That's where all that personal conflict of interest that went out the door. It's like, dog, you get in between them lines, it's time to win, because we both want to win. They love each other. They giving high fives and everything. Once they get off the court, like, I don't like you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, great. But as long as you get on that court and y'all both want to win and y'all passionate about winning, hey, dog, let's do this. Yeah, let's do this. We'll fight. We'll fight whatever we got to deal with. We'll handle that off the court. Like, there's so many stories about that. So that doesn't even matter. Who cares? Like, who cares if you don't like each other? Dude, go out there, play basketball, play the game that you love, and go out there and win some basketball games.
And play with joy.
I do want to say this real quick. Jalen Tyson for Cleveland got his first start. Okay? He got his first start. He was like in the same realm as all the other guys for the Pelicans. The dude almost had a triple-double.
I know. We scouted that guy.
I was talking about that.
He is a second, third stringer? Just like the guys that were out on the floor for Pelicans.
Mm-hmm.
But when you saw him play, that dude was getting after it. He was hustling.
That's the same dude we talked about.
And he has the same talent as the guys that were playing for the Pelicans. But that dude, you saw his energy level.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't because of, look, wasn't nobody making that dude like shooting the gaps, shooting the passing lanes to get that steal and attack the basket, get the dunk. Nobody was telling him that. He did that on his own.
No, but that's man.
That's what the Pelicans
we scouted that dude. We scouted Jalen. We scouted him during the draft. We looked at tape. As a matter of fact, we showed him to the family members and say, hey, man, this is a dude. DC liked him. Matter of fact, DC sent him to his scouting tape to me, and I was like, man, DC, this is a baller right here. But he has second round grades on him,
his
but
feel for
Cleveland,
the game is on another level.
he
Bro.
would, he would,
He just know how to go out there
yeah,
and play
and
That's
get it.
hard. That's
in
working
all
hard.
facets.
Hard work beats
Yep.
talent
Yeah.
when talent doesn't work hard, man.
Yep.
But
I mean, whatever talent that you do have, go out there and use that talent and work hard.
most definitely, Kenny Atkinson was in his press conference saying how he was going to start DeMar Carroll, and all of the training staff kept pressing him. Man, you got to start Tyson. You got to start Tyson.
Dude was
He's
awesome,
working.
man.
He's doing it. He said they kept pushing and pushing and pushing all the way up to game day. Well, he said, you know what? I'm gonna trust my staff, and he gave credit to all of his assistants for staying
Won
on
him
him
over.
and making sure that he played him, because he said that was probably one of the best moves he could have made
And
going
kudos to
into this
him
game.
because he listened. Ooh.
You know why I pointed it out.
Listen.
Go ahead, take it home, Lex.
Listened to his coaching staff
Adjustments
that he hired.
Yeah, this dude.
He listened to his coaching staff. That's really something. That is really something. A head coach listening to his assistant coaches.
Yeah, I think it's the clock is running out on them. If they think for a second that injuries is going to save them this year, it's not going to work.
No, man,
it's not going
that's
to work
done
this year.
over with.
We done been there and done that. We're not letting you go
This
with that.
hurry up and wait thing. It's
yeah,
like
that's it. Sitting there.
collecting data. Hey man, I think the fan base is done with that.
It's over with.
I
They done
can't-
burned all that
know
up.
how everybody feels, but it's like, man, this team has collected enough data. You need to make major changes.
Well, that's
And
what they
you were
promised you.
supposed to do in the off season. That's what you were supposed to do in the off season. You know, you made one change, and that change wasn't even your idea. It was Rich Paul's.
Well, you better come up with something, Lex.
Well,
to be honest with you.
to be fair,
Oh man, don't take up for them. That was Rich
I'm not
Paul's
taking
idea.
up for him. You know, I hate the front office as much as you. But to be fair, they were looking at getting DeJounte Murray before we got CJ McCollum. I remember that. We were trying to get DeJounte
Did they
Murray.
act on it though?
I don't know
Well,
what
rumors
they didn't
circulating
want to
around
give up,
Trey
but
Murray.
we were
They were
trying to
looking
get
at
him.
Trey
We were
decent.
trying to get
No,
him
Those are
the thing
rumors.
before
is
Atlanta
that
got him.
we
were
man,
trying
do
to
you
get
know
him.
how many
It
because
was
that was
between him
rumor,
and Trey.
right?
It was
and Trey,
between.
we
You know
had to
how
give
many
up Trey
rumors
Murphy.
we done heard as far as we looking to get this guy.
We knew we was going to Atlanta.
No,
That's
but
one thing.
this was real, Lex, because we've constantly been hearing about CJ McCollum. It was DeJounte Murray, Jared Allen. You know, Jared Allen, that damn rumor been going on for like 3 years.
And that hasn't happened.
And there was one other person, De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah, I remember De'Aaron
we were
Fox. Really, it
always
was
trying
between De'Aaron Fox and McCollum. Because
we've been always trying to get all of those guys. So it's like De'Aaron Fox wasn't available. CJ was available. DeJounte was available. We fought around. Somehow DeJounte wound up going to Atlanta. And then we got CJ after that. Because that's when I found out that DeJounte and Brandon Ingram were good friends. You know, a lot of that information was leaking around the same time. So it's like, it's the same old thing. A day late and a dollar short. That's how we always have been under this regime, and pretty much, as Pelicans / Hornets organization, that's always our thing. We have so many untold stories of what could have been and what we almost did or what we should have did.
It's too much bullshit, man, with David Griffin. When he first stepped in the
like
door,
a leadership and vision, bro, in front office, man.
It's too much bullshit. Yeah, that dude, the whole Cleveland thing was a debacle with him because he didn't like LeBron and we couldn't be himself, so he could turn him into a basketball coach. Come down here,
got good,
still
1 and
winning.
10.
And then circulated and got better again. Look where they at now. And they fired their guy, and the guy got him in the second round of the playoffs last year, and they bring Atkinson in there, and they go off to a ridiculous start on the year. So, I mean, the only team slowed them down was Boston.
Everybody who was in the situation we was in when we first started this rebuild is better than us, bro.
That's because you don't have you got
Everybody.
a bullshit vice president at the top of the team with no vision.
Very poor. It's not a winning mentality. It's not a winning culture. The foundation of this organization is not winning. They too stuck on family and being
That-
attached.
That's you
And
blame
it's like,
this
that's
Jim
not
Jones
going to
as
win
VP
games.
you have here, the basketball cult guy. This is what we've been saying about it. It's a soft mentality over the Pelicans organization,
And they trying to
play.
sell a poor product to the fan base.
Yeah,
That's
they
the
think
messed up thing about
well, they
this
think you're
junk.
crazy enough to go for it. Plus, they want you to build a over $1 billion stadium for them. They keep running soft ass people at you.
It's
mean,
like, no,
You don't
y'all
have a
need to
leader at the
step
top of the team, Lex.
it up. But the whole infrastructure and how the system of how this organization is ran is like, just something is truly wrong. They don't know what they're doing. That's why I said on yesterday's stream, I feel like, man, I'm questioning that whole office. The whole office. Every single one last person, because I don't know what they doing.
Well, I mean, they running behind the curb is what they're doing. I mean, they've been running behind the curb. I just said the medical staff stuff was something they just did last year. And they got 70 games out of Zion. Imagine if they had done that originally, getting a physical therapist, and you have all these athletes running around here. I don't know if you guys ever
was
been
it
down
really
there.
our medical staff, or was it the fact that Zion didn't have a physical therapist? Maybe if
DC, whatever the case was, the change.
Look at Memphis. Look at
Everything.
Memphis and see what their injuries look like this year, because they got our old medical coordinator who came from the Suns, who was good buddies with David Griffin. Is Memphis in
Is
the
Aaron over there?
injury?
He left.
Yeah.
Is he left
Yeah.
and went over there?
Yeah.
And look what they're doing.
Memphis looks completely fine. So I don't think it was him. But it's funny that, you know, other teams, players got massage therapists, probably got basketball psychologists where they could go talk about their fear of shooting and everything else. And we didn't even have one goddamn physical therapist.
One thing that this organization
they cheat, bro.
is
crazy, bro.
They need to get someone who specializes in flexibility, because that would really help with, you know, joints and, you know, tissues and things like that. But the team really needs to exercise in those areas, because the thing is, they need to get that stuff together.
Who gonna hold the players accountable to
flexibility is a big deal. Okay? And think about gymnasts. Look at how strong they are and stuff. Doing all that stuff. I mean,
there gotta be a standard
that keeps your muscles loose.
But there gotta be a standard.
Right,
I agree with everything you're saying, but it's the leadership aspect. Like, you got a very no disrespect to Willie Green. I like Willie, but you got a milquetoast ass coach.
Well, I don't know him personally, so right now I don't like him.
Milquetoast. I mean, and there's no fight. It's just too much softness. It's not enough. It's not enough aggression. You're talking about men, and you're talking about a physical sport. You can't sit up here with this soft verbiage and all this bullshit on these walls about togetherness and all this nonsense, man. And they got teams out here that's trying to gut you.
Violence.
Well, these teams, it's not just it's the rest of the league is playing with force and physicality.
They playing with violence.
They playing with physicality. There is a form of the force that's not so sensitive.
No, when you say force, we know force as Willie. When he says force, what does that really mean?
That means that you have to pay
weak.
With an NBA style physicality to match up with Golden State and other teams that are playing you. The word's out on the Pelicans, Alex. That's what people like Miami and all these other people were talking about. They don't respect the Pelicans because they're soft.
Draymond,
They say that they're soft. And do the Pelicans get mad about it when they call them soft?
No,
do they get physical with them when they get physical with them?
There's no chip on the shoulder. There's no. I wish somebody would play pissed off. I wish somebody would play pissed off. Somebody.
It ain't in them.
And we've seen it a few times, you know, from Zion. You know what I'm saying? We've seen him take over, but it's not consistent enough.
It's not in them. And
like it has to be. It's like, where is that other gear? Like, just like when we played Portland, when we played Brooklyn. I don't know if y'all noticed, but even Atlanta, all three of those teams were playing down to the competition. They were not playing like they were if they were playing against Cleveland or Boston. They weren't playing like that. They were playing like they were halfway in the first half. They were going through the motions. In that third quarter, they just turned up the notch just a little bit. Just a little bit. That's what they did. They turned it up just a little bit. And that was just enough to get them over the hump to beat the Pelicans.
Yeah, but you talking about coaches. When you talk about Atlanta and you talk about these other teams, these people actually have coaches that been somewhere and done some stuff. No disrespect, but they have a grander resume. When you talk about Atlanta, even though Quinn Snyder stepped in there, Nate McMillan was actually a pretty decent coach in his own right. Snyder comes in there and he got to terraform that team, and they have look how they looking. He has them playing like they with their hair on fire. He has them playing intelligent. He knows how to take advantage of his the players that he has and put them in a position to win. He knows how to speak about pace and in terms of physicality and just overall basketball IQ. We don't care about them playing with joy. If you do what the hell you're supposed to do, you'll be happy.
That is not a basketball term.
We just want them to have fun. Man, they're getting paid. What the hell you talking about, man?
That's crazy.
What the hell you talking about? They let them be happy when they win. But when they lose, they need to be mad. Get your ass in that gym and work out. Lift them weights.
Especially when you got a losing streak.
Some physicality and some anger. Some pride. He'll never say that word because that don't fit in his
pride. They fine with the losing streak. The thing is that you be like, just try it one time, 48 minutes, working hard, have a chip on your shoulder, be pissed off. Like, man, we ain't losing today.
Come on, Lex. How they gonna do that when their coach don't do that?
Seriously.
But I'm saying that's what's needed. If you have 7 guys out, there has to be
all you have is that. Right. All you have is effort. All you have is effort. Yeah.
So it's like use that. It has to be on cloud 9. It has to be an overflow of energy and just, man, like that F you attitude. Like, man, let's go out here. Let's just play like crazy. Got to do something.
He'll diffuse all that energy, totally disperse it. Because the thing is, and we've seen this before. Like, you have a team that has all the talent in the world, but if the head coach is sitting on it's the vision of the head coach that takes the team where they need to be, not the players necessarily. They're going to be controlled by the head coach. The head's supposed to be the brain of the whole situation. And if this dude is not teaching them to play with pissed offness, and he talking about playing with joy and diffusing any aggressive energy and totally disposing it and putting a cap on it, what you're going to see is a milquetoast product that get beat by 41 and just walk off with their head down. This is the New Orleans Pelicans organization who just come up with a bunch of bullshit excuses because they can't see at the top of the team that they have a con man up there. It's David freaking Grifter is who this guy is. When I seen this dude walk through the door with all this sustainable nonsense and this basketball bullshit, I don't want to hear about sustainable this and and family this nonsense.
And
if you win,
I'm still waiting for him to give Zion permission to dominate. That's what I'm waiting for.
He got took apart on that, so he'll never use that again.
He ain't doing that.
Man, these people don't. It's all on him. This is the thing.
I want him to come out and say Zion is a dark horse MVP while he hurt.
All I want to hear him say is the stuff that they're supposed to say is that we here to win championships. As opposed to sit up here and talk about this basketball family, basketball cult, and all these people sitting up here.
Mentality.
These people sitting up here making all this money. We got 3 $30 million players on the team. Well, more than that, how much your boy making? 20-something million?
DeJounte?
Yeah, how much is he making? Because you got the original 3.
It's 27.
27 from him.
So we gonna round up because it's
plus you got other contracts. You got Trey getting his money that'll kick in later. But the issue is like, man, listen, I don't want to hear this stuff about family and all this bullshit.
Yeah,
you become a family when you win games. That's how you go, when you have a full out effort. And that's the problem. We have a bureaucrat at the top of the team that is an absolute con man kicking absolute bullshit, who doesn't want to hire a real coach that would challenge him because he wants to control every aspect of the team even down to the decisions made with the coach's roster. So he have milquetoast men at every level down that he can manipulate and control. He'll never put somebody in there that'll challenge him for control of his team or tell him to stick it with his opinion about what a guy going to do with his roster. That's the problem, and that's why I made the meme about him being an octopus. The guy's a control freak. He got Gale food, but at the end of the day, you don't have me food. You don't have us food here. We know who David Griffin is. We know that you a kind man and that you aren't no leader of no team, that the only goddamn ring you got is because LeBron them gifted you that goddamn ring. Don't sit up here and pretend like we don't know who the hell you are. We know who you are, and we're going to get you out of here. And then on top of that, with Willie Green, you can take him with you. Because at the end of the day, you got Willie here, and Willie Green here is a yes man. Willie Green is not going to challenge anything. He's not going to throw no goddamn chairs when they get away with standing in the key longer than what they supposed to. Or if they have a goaltending, the guy doesn't do anything. He doesn't challenge anything. He's a get along guy. Whatever Griffin say, he gonna go with it to stay the head coach of a team, because he's not gonna be a head coach anywhere else, because nobody would have been foolish enough to give him a coaching job with zero resume when they had other guys that were obviously better than him, and Charles Lee and Mosley, all of which guys that came here. Even we was talking about Jason Kidd when he sat for 3 years on the Lakers bench, sitting there. We was saying the whole time to go and make that man the coach, and they sit up here worried about some bullshit that happened. And now him and Udoka down in Houston got jobs. All that bullshit flew away.
Charles Lee was right there. You know, his reputation was clean.
So this is my whole thing, and I ain't gonna get long-winded about it because I won't talk about the Golden State stuff.
It's okay.
I'm done. I'm done with it because the reality, because
you're making some good points.
It's a lot of days left. It's a lot of games left. I have plenty of time to dispouse my vinegar upon David Griffin. I've been hitting at him for a while. I've been telling y'all about David Griffin for a while because I'm not a guy that falls for propaganda easily, because I've studied propaganda. I know about Bernice and all his shit when he was doing the Madison Avenue stuff, working for the government, and he was using this information, all this kind of bullshit. Yeah, I mean, because they were using this type of stuff to manipulate, and then they did all this it's a bunch of stuff going on, but I've studied all that. That's how I know the words that he uses them over and over again. He uses certain buzzwords constantly. He talks in circles, and he'll contradict himself in interviews. And that's what I was saying, is that you got a control freak problem. If the Pelicans want to win, the first thing they really need to do is fire David Griffin. That's number one. Number two is you get a job, find a credible general of a VP person that has a resume. And like I said, I think Swin will do a better job than he would, because at least she's a career winner.
I don't even know.
Hell yeah, she'll do it. Everybody can do a better job than him.
Would do a better job than
hell yeah, she would do a better job.
I'm questioning everything because I'm mad at this organization.
She'll do a better job than that asshole.
I mean, she probably the reason we got y'all in office.
She'll do a better job. She would, because what he's doing, he's crazy. I said this, y'all think I'm playing. I'm dead serious about this shit. The guy is trying to build a basketball cult. That's what he's doing. He's talking about family and all this. If you want a family, dog, don't that old ass bastard got a young baby? Go raise your own family or something. Go over there and go do you. Don't try to take that here. This is a basketball team where professionals are getting paid handsomely to play. And another thing, all the injuries, we're dealing with a lot of injuries. Fam, for our people that have short memories here, let me remind you that this injury situation is nothing new. The Pelicans, a lot of this is the Pelicans' fault, because they did not get ahead of the medical curve until last year when they hired their physical therapist. I keep saying the same shit over and over again. And now it's another new injury situation that's hitting the league. The only thing is not to sit here and say, oh shit, the injury situation sure is hitting us. We're going to just do what we got to do to survive it. No, what you need to do is understand that, because they got enough data so far. They don't have to go through a whole season to get good data on what the hell going on. They can understand that there's trends here, and you need to get ahead of it, which means you need to find more medical personnel, or get rid of the guys that's not working, or whatever you need to do. You need to amp up that medical. because you're going to be dealing with a lot of this going into the future to get these players ready. That's the bottom line. They have an opportunity. They're not just sitting back here victims of everything. They can actually be proactive and jump ahead, which is something Lex alluded to. So, there's answers to all this stuff. This shit's not hard. They're not doing it because they're making money. So, and I'm about to I warned y'all, the same shit that happened to the Saints is about to happen to the Pelicans. When people kept telling me, they ain't gonna fire Dennis Allen, I said Dennis Allen is gonna be gone this year. And they got him. How? Because the support base told Gail to fire that guy, and she listened to them over her own stinking, dirty, funky ass general manager, VP character who wanted to keep him. She is listening to you.
Attachment issues.
No, it's the thing is the guy's a moron. He's an idiot. He's not a real VP and general manager. We have a crony, phony problem in these organizations. They hiring the same personalities. We have a crony problem. And because she doesn't know the sports, she doesn't know the sport. A person that knows people would never have hired a David Griffin or look at a Mickey Loomis and says, you run my team. The guy is too old to be doing it. He doesn't have the vision, and your team is old. You got a president of the football side. They don't even know football on the field. He's just a businessman. So how you got that shit, man? But so like I said, man, when shit started happening, all you have to do to start, and then everything starts rolling right along, man. That's how it goes. That's how supporters can change their teams. People saying, "Oh, you can't." Bullshit, man. We did it with the Saints. We'll do it with the Pelicans too. And they know we mean sports. This is the same goddamn building, same owner. So, like I said, at the end of the day, injuries, I'm warning you, injuries will not protect you this year. You have blown that card. That is out. So bottom line is you don't get it together. He gonna throw Willie Green in the crowd. Willie Green's a sacrificial goat right now. Stand up there smiling. He got his money. He said, and I told Willie Green when the shit happened, I was like, man, you're in the crossfire with Tranger Langdon going, right? You're the one that he gonna put on the X and fire. They're not gonna go for David Griffin. Say Griffin already put you out front, even though he the one manipulating everything. Told y'all this octopus ain't no genius, man. This dude ain't no genius. He put Willie out front, and Willie gonna take that L when that team fail. When they try to run back and they don't get the wins, well, it's because of injury. That shit ain't gonna fly, bro. It won't fly. You won't get another year of let's make a deal for another year with the Pels. It won't happen, bro. Your time is up with that bullshit. Watch Willie catch that smoke. I'm telling y'all, this dude ain't nothing clever, man. This dude ain't nothing clever. He's this weak little fake con man operating some shit like he got a ring. That's LeBron ring, man. Bullshit, man. And like I said, I would rock with Swin over him because Swin is a winner. Swin ain't no bullshit person. She won at every level. She's a perennial winner, and she's a Hall of Famer. Yes, I'll rock with him over this old sustainable dude. Go work for the UN with all that bullshit you running, man. Get your ass out of here. But anyway, let's keep it moving, man. We talked about
he talking about recycling or some shit. Huh?
Yeah, it's sustainable. Where we sustainable, man? Shut up, man. I don't care about that bullshit.
I do want to
shut your goof ass up with that. Go ahead, Lex.
Yeah, I saw a comment like, why do the players need a coach to be fired up? Like I follow a lot of coaches as well as trainers. They're very reputable. And I wanted to share this. But your job as a coach is to believe in the player, to challenge the player, be patient with the player, listen to the player, get to know the player, empower the player, push the player to want more, to lead the player, equip the player for the game as well as for life. And that's like at long term, but those are the areas where a coach is supposed to be prevalent within every single player on the team. A coach is very important. Coaches really do matter. They really do. Like, it's like you have, it's not just X's and O's, but the thing is that to be able to, when confidence is down, you have to empower your players. You got to do that. Sometimes your players take on your personality. They take on your energy. If they see that you're fired up, they'll get fired up too. Especially if they believe in, whatever the philosophy that you're bringing to them. But that, if that's not true, then it's like, then what's the purpose in having a coach, period? What's the purpose in having a coach if you don't have that energy guy? What's the purpose of having a coach? And even if you do have an energy guy, and yeah, you name one person, Ja Morant. Yeah, he has his own fire. So does Draymond Green, and that dude is a nutcase. He actually lost them a chance to win a championship, and he won't even man up to that. The thing is, there's a whole lot to coaching, managing personalities, like putting everybody in position to succeed. Like, you have to have that. You got to have that. And Ja Morant, he doesn't need the fire part, but you know what? The thing is, strategy. You still got to coach. There's other facets of coaching, and that's a necessity. So, I mean, look, if none of that stuff matters, if you can't do any of that stuff for your players, what purpose is there having a coach? At the pro level, why do you have a coach? And let me tell you something. You can ask, look, I know that there's a lot of things that happen, but look, we all saw Steve Nash when he was in Brooklyn. We all saw him. And he couldn't coach. And you heard with Kyrie, look, with Kyrie and KD and James Harden, he couldn't win with those dudes. He couldn't win with them.
Yeah.
Couldn't do nothing with
Nash
them.
wasn't winning with nobody.
They didn't even want a coach. That's why they got him. And look what that got him. They didn't want a coach. That's what they said. They could coach themselves. And look how far they got. Like, coaches matter, man. Coaches matter. Like, you can't downplay the coach. Because I know I'm like, okay, you know what? The team is going to have to do this. They're going to have to do this. I said that last year at the All-Star break. Like, you know what? I'm not even going to focus on Willie. Man, I gave that a few weeks, and I'm like, man, you know what? It's impossible. Having a quality coach, a coach that knows how to position his players to succeed, to maximize their talents, to be able to play with each other, to be creative and have plays set to get guys open. Like, man, I'm struggling, like, not getting open on this play. How many times has Brandon gone to Willie Green saying, hey, man, I need help? And Willie's answer, his answer was, hey, man, you got to figure it out. You got to figure it out yourself. That was a scapegoat for him not being able to coach. I can't help you. Then why are you coaching? Because that's your job as a coach, is to help your players. You're outside looking in. You're supposed to be the mastermind sitting on the sideline, looking at the game, analyzing the game, understanding the different situations, like what the defense. What defense is the other team running? Hey, timeout. Come here, guys. They're in the zone. I want you to set up in a 2-1-2. Do you take the baseline? Zion, I want you in the middle. Manhandle the middle. Get the ball in the middle, because we all know that the middle part of the zone is the most vulnerable. Get the ball square up to the basket. Fake the pass, or drive in just a little bit. Look to your shooters. It works every single time. Oh, how do you know that, Lex? Oh, I know that because I play a whole lot of zone. And I tell my team the weak spots, the strengths, and the weaknesses of the zone. Because I understand it. You got to do that stuff. You got to help your team.
Yeah, it's and I agree with you. Like, it's a big part of like when you start, even before you get into the IQ of basketball, man, it's an energy sport, and you got to get people riled up to play it. And like you're saying, it's all about effort, out efforting your adversary, going after the 50-50, diving on the floor, running a little extra to get there. And you seeing tonight, like Cleveland's club, their backups got in there and they were running around making plays, doing the extra stuff, giving more effort. And that's often the problem I see a lot with the Pelicans is it's an effort situation that you can't always just say right away, this is an issue in terms of like the injuries. Like I said, Willie Green sticking his talking point is defense. And the defense suffers when I see the starters out there. I see the defense suffering when you have your backups out there. The communication is bad. Guys are not hustling back. I'm constantly seeing Willie whip his hand. He's constantly whipping his hands to tell him to speed up. If you watch him, he's always doing the same things, like speed up, like speed the game up.
But you know what? Even when he's saying that, he's nice about it. It's like there's no aggression. I think it's just you know when Borrego, when he coached at one time, his voice, the timbre in his voice, the intensity in his voice, it was different. You know, when you have a different voice in the locker room, that's, you know, because we hear Willie Green's pressers all the time. Do y'all see any changes in his voice?
Yes.
Do you feel any conviction? Does he move your spirit when he's talking? Man,
yeah.
I've heard Borrego in his presser, in Borrego's presser, and he was cool and calm, but there was something about his voice that just moved. It's like it's that part. You gotta be able to say valid. Willie Green saying the same thing, man. He's saying the same thing the same way. There's no aggression. There's no, we have to continue to play with force. I'm just so proud of these guys, and it's just right here. I love these guys. I tell them, I'm going to come over your house and, we'll eat dinner together and just talk about life and continue to work hard, put your best foot forward. Like, what?
It's just that's how you get, like, that's how you get down, man. And that's a part
of
it.
I feel that?
Yeah. It's how he gets down. I mean, you're not going to get the most out of character. The only out of character situation he did when he said that what the year before last, where you got to fight, that kind of thing, that you rarely get him to come out of character.
Motivational pony. That's all that was.
You rarely get that guy to get out of character. And sometimes as a coach, you got to throw some chairs. You got to get ejected out of games. Sometimes you got to get fined. And just to make a statement to kind of wake the team up, you got to do something, man.
Yeah, y'all been busting Willie Green up for about 20 minutes straight. So let's just.
Oh no, we just trying to shed light.
We got plenty. DC, don't worry, we got plenty of games.
We done shed so much light on Willie. He burnt to a crisp.
Well, no, DC. Hold on, DC. We
shed light on David Griffin too.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's the main one. That's the main one. That's the main one.
It's a collective thing.
No. I'm not trying to criticize.
Go ahead, DC.
With a question.
No, I just don't want people to think that it's all been bashing on Willie.
Oh, this is much deserved, Lex. This is much well deserved. This is well earned.
We cooking their ass tonight, man. The hell with the bullshit.
Some people who don't, I guess, maybe watch our show consistently.
Yeah.
Won't understand. But even before you came on board, Lex, we was tearing Willie ass up. After that you got the fight and then all the other stuff, and we started really when you saw Zion start taking all of those hard fouls. Remember when the notice went out about Zion that you could rough them up and you could hit Zion and knock him to the ground and nobody ain't gonna do shit? We've been on Willie ass ever since then. So this is well deserved, man. This is what, his fourth year?
Yeah.
He's going into.
I mean,
and
there's a lot of things that are still the same.
they
And it's
are, but
year
I'm
4.
getting to a question. I got a question.
Oh, okay. Demande question.
So y'all knocking Willie around and me sitting in back here laughing at Q put up all these damn board games and how y'all tearing him up. It's hilarious. But I would like to ask y'all and everybody in the chat, realistically, when is Willie gone? Does he make it through the season? Does he only make it till Christmas? Is he gone by Thanksgiving?
Stacy said
When
Black
is Willie
Friday.
gone?
Nah,
But I don't know because Black Friday is next week.
year. He gets 2025. They're going to try to play it like the playoff thing. They'll see if
I
he can
think
get
they're
him in
going
the
to wait
playoffs.
until some guys get back. Shoot, they might even wait until Zion gets back. Just to. But then it's like, how much longer are we waiting? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, let me ask y'all this: is the season lost?
No.
Lex, answer my question.
No.
No,
Season
I
not
didn't
lost.
answer your question, but
it's not over.
It's not lost.
We only got what, 12 losses? We got 12 losses.
It's not over with. But they got to play competitive. You don't want to be in the hole.
With this schedule coming up, these next few teams, because I know right now it looks like, hey, it's salvageable, but when you look down the road, guys got to come back. It takes some time for guys to get acclimated in the game. Do you feel like bringing guys back as they're coming back that we'll be able to get some of these games? It's really quiet. What's that mean?
I was looking at Candyland and trying to
you are so funny. Stop
imagine Willie's
That's
philosophy
like I'm using
for
the
playing
excuse.
this.
All these injuries. No, stop looking at the board games. I see the board games too. You ain't distracted. But
No,
do
well,
you all
I
see
think it's
falling into like a deeper hole? Like when do you really see the Pelicans coming out of this, like making ground, getting back to 500? I mean, do you all see that? And this is for the chat as well.
Realistically, I'm gonna stick with what I've said. I'm just trying to see everybody's else's points. I said I can't really gauge it until I see DeJounte out there. And I think the organization probably would look at it that way too. You went and your major thing was adding DeJounte Murray in preparation to replace Brandon Ingram and possibly, in my mind, even though they ain't telling everybody this, see if you can make the big three of all of them work, right? I don't think they make any definite decision until he's at least back playing with the majority of our players. But
that's tough.
I don't think right now with the stretch we got coming up that they're gonna fare too well. Even if CJ and Hawk comes back, I said this last show. The X factor to me, and I think Big Sean said that too. He said DeJounte is y'all X factor. I feel the same way. When he comes back, gauging on how that looks, I'll be able to, okay, well, they might actually pull it off. But I mean, even their best effort, how many games can they realistically win with the best version of themselves in the West? Like, I mean, can we still hit 50 wins on a season? Hell no, probably not. Are we gonna get 49 wins this year? Hell no. So what does that realistically look like? Can we make it to 500? And what does 500 get us in the West? So a lot of stuff is still up in the air. Like it's Scrabble.
Yeah.
Like Q put up there.
Yeah.
It's Scrabble and all the letters is still in the bag. Like we don't know who we gonna get yet. You know what I'm saying? Like
you still don't know how the team is gonna play every night, which
every
is really
week. Bad. Every week, a few letters are disappearing from the bag. So we got to kind of see where it's at when they get healthy, when they realistically can compete.
We need also to add chemistry, Stacy. Chemistry, plays, coaching.
We
You know
got
what
to
I'm
see what the
saying?
schedule
Not,
look like as
not
well.
just a
Too.
center, not just a center. I think we passed that point, man.
I don't even think it's the center no more, Lex. I think
Yeah, I know.
Yves is good enough to where like we're okay. We could play small ball if we need a center. We could use him. Are we gonna dominate people down low? Is he like a top 5 rim deterrent? No, but I think
that's up
he's
in the
very
air.
he's good. You know what I'm saying? He's serviceable, especially
I mean,
for a rookie. He's awesome. But if you're gauging
what
him with the other centers around the league, I think we have a center. You know what I'm saying? So, as far as us playing small ball, we got to see how that shit look with everybody in conjunction with playing him, because I think that might work together. But we don't know, man. We got so much stuff going on, and we have a lot of talented players, but even once they're all back, like, do we really trust Willie to coordinate all this shit and get everybody firing on all cylinders?
Talent doesn't mean anything if you can't get the talent to where they can play together and everybody is maximized. That's true talent.
So what do you see? You see Willie making it through the season? Is he getting fired?
I like him.
Not what you want, what you see. What you think? What you see gonna happen? Yeah.
Well, I see that he needs.
I think he gonna make it the whole year.
Yesterday, a whole bunch with a whole bunch of S's at the end, but I don't know. It's hard to say, you know, with this, because really I feel like again it's another situation where, you know, well, let's wait and see. Let's wait until everybody comes back. And it's like, it's been like that. It's been like that for years.
Uno was up there, damn it.
Let's wait and collect all the data before we make any rash decisions. This team is already behind. Yeah, it is like Jumanji. Shoot, we don't know what the next day's going to bring. Shoot.
This the game plan?
1 minute you could be drowning in the jungle. Shoot, the next day, a hunter's chasing you. Day after that, the lion is attacking you.
The next day, you fell in quicksand.
A plant shoots you with one of its darts and poisons you, and then you out.
Damn, Lex, you know how to play that game good, girl. What you doing?
Oh yeah, I watched that movie. Mm-hmm.
Then you wake up on the airplane and you got to jump out with no parachute when you wake up.
Yeah. Oh shoot, you talking Predators? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what happened to him. That's how the movie started. Predators. Mm-hmm. Next day after that, you got an alligator. You got an alligator.
This is the Pelicans
with everybody. Yeah, but
it's the Pelicans perfectly.
Alligator trying to eat you. Yeah, that is the Pelicans, and that red light is going off like even when you don't, you know, just everywhere. I don't even know. I ain't never played that game. Have y'all played it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun game.
Yeah, it was actually.
Yeah, pretty damn fun.
It's that would be one I would buy. Like, you know,
this is what's happening right now.
You ain't got no lights and stuff. Yeah. Operation could be a fun one. You know, Uno always classic, but Operation would be a fun one to throw in the mix.
Yeah, it's better than our. Oh wow!
They could probably make a good drinking game too, but everybody probably lose.
That was deep, man. That was heavy. All right, Debo.
The water boy just pulled a hamstring. Huh?
What? Oh dang!
I'm reading Debo other comments.
You know that's bad.
Operation is better than our medical staff.
Well, dog, good, because that just means we don't have to pay hourly. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
We like that. Look, you ain't under contract. You're fired.
What about you, Q? You think Willie Green make it through the whole season?
I think he does. No, I think Willie Green does make it through the year because they're gonna. That's why I was jumping ahead of the excuse thing.
You know what?
They're gonna. We're not most teams have vision. That's the problem with the Pelicans is the guy at the top is the problem. He is not. He's a weak leader. In a con man, he don't have what it takes to take this team to championship land. We've seen that. This will be his. If he fires Willie, it'll be his fourth coach hire after he gets rid of Willie within 6 years. 6 years of him being here. So
he's gonna get fired soon after.
No, but it takes vision. And you got to have a timeline, and you got to have pressure on the guy you hire. You can't let the bastard sit up there on top of the team and not have a timeline in which to operate. If I hire you and I give you a 4-year contract, I want to see this team together in a certain period of time. I don't care if injuries are a factor. I will not let you use injuries because there is a rule. It's not written, but it's an understood rule in all professional sports that you are never supposed to use injuries as an excuse for anything. And the problem why we're upset is not because of what's going on with the team from an injury standpoint. It's the effort that's hurting this team. They're not going out there and out efforting their adversaries. If they had effort and higher IQ, like I said, we would have beat Denver. We would have beat Brooklyn. We would have beat the Lakers.
We did beat Denver.
We did beat Denver, bro.
Yeah,
Did we beat?
Damn,
Yeah,
we
because
lost
they
to
were-
Q. That's
they were
bad. When
without-
you thinking we
They
lost,
were
we won.
without, they were without Jokic.
Yeah, I'm
and they were-
sorry. I'm
They were
sorry.
without Mike
That-
Malone.
I'm
No,
sorry. I'm
we-
thinking about.
I'm used to them losing too.
I'm thinking about
Portland,
thinking
Atlanta.
about Portland.
Okay.
I'm thinking about Portland. But
Brooklyn.
anyway,
It's almost expected for them to lose, bro. It's okay.
no, but that's okay because I'm looking at the effort. Like at this point, I know we dealing with all this other stuff, but I'm looking at the effort. I'm looking at the poor play. I'm looking at the fact that even if Willie has some of his defensive guys out there that are starters, there's communication issues. There's always communication issues. There's adjustment issues. There's
Chemistry.
always something that's going wrong. But I'm not going to recycle that because we already did that. I'm gonna save that for the rest of the season because we got plenty of games for that. But as far as what's going on for tonight, Pelicans go down bad. They're now 1 in 9 out of the last 10 games. So the thing is to try to get some of these wins, as many wins as you can. So when you do gain back some of your heavy hitters, they're not that far down in a hole. That's the idea. You got to compete. You got to inspire these guys to have better effort and play with higher IQ. And if they can't do that, then you got to find guys that will. That's what it comes down to. So that's why that's my fault. If I put a guy on top of the team and tell the guy to run the team a certain kind of way, I'm not going to let him just sit up here and have all the time in the world. The guy don't have a clock. And it comes down to people getting pissed off to the point where they put pressure on the team to do something about it. That's bad thinking, man. That's not vision. That's not a championship caliber guy. The Pelicans' main philosophy should be getting this team to a championship. I don't hear any championship rhetoric. I don't hear that we want to win a championship. I don't hear none of that. All I hear is stuff about playoffs and all this bullshit.
Like that.
That's the problem. I don't want to hear. You're not the guy that I want on this team if you can't talk about championships and put yourself under fire and pressure on you to get a championship. These people run too much. That's the problem. But anyway, let me hit this before we get ready to go. Ryan says, do you think we were putting too much value on JB? If we push Willie out the door for him, it could possibly backfire on us. JB, who's JB, bro?
James Borrego.
Borrego.
Yeah.
How could he possibly be worse?
He would be an interim coach, first of all. I don't think they would hire him on immediately. I think he would be the interim coach. And that when he's the interim coach, that would be his chance to prove why he should be the official head coach of the team. But I don't think, but hopefully they move Griff. But both of them, it needs to be.
What do you mean move Griff?
No,
that's what needs to be
got
done.
to be fired.
No, he has.
That's what I'm saying. He needs to be moved. Go. Both him and Willie. It needs to be a package deal.
It has.
The thing is that if you think about it, look, Willie is his hire. That's the third hire that he's had. Like this organization, he's had this organization swimming in mud. They haven't gotten any better. The stick really hasn't.
I would love to see Borrego get a shot at it because I think he would perform well. And I think that in itself, if you look at that, you have to look at David Griffin and be like, dude, so you mean to tell me you had this dude sitting for 2 years that's better than your head coach? And he come in and get him to do what Willie can't? I think it's either way, it's still it's a knock on him and it's a notch towards him getting out of here, just as well as if Willie Green falls through the floor. So either way, it's a positive for us. Like this really a win-win situation. Either way you want to cut it. And I see some people in the comments, they're saying they think James Borrego would want another team and this and that. Y'all do understand James Borrego could have been on the Lakers staff. James Borrego could have been over there in Cleveland and a lot of other places as an assistant. He wanted to come. He could have been a head coach for Detroit. He wanted to come back here for another year. I ain't buying that shit that, well, he just wanted to come back here for another year to be ready to go get a head coaching job somewhere else. And like, he could have did that on a bunch of other teams that had better aspirations of winning than us. He came here, huh?
Like the other teams, when he went to go interview for the Lakers, Detroit, and Cleveland,
he was interviewed interviewed dismissed for the head coaching job, but a lot of those teams were like offering him a spot as an assistant, which he turned down as well. Like I know for sure he could have been on the coaching staff.
So they didn't want him as
the Lakers, but they didn't want him as a head coach. AJ Redick was trying to get him to be part of his staff, and I think they had a similar thing going on over there in Cleveland as well. He came back here for a shot to be an interim head coach.
Oh, it's been it's a lateral move.
Opportunity to be an interim head coach. He's seen Willie. He's known Willie for a while. He probably can see that Willie has lost the team. Won't be able to fulfill that. It's not hard to see. You know what I'm saying? And you think he came here with the aspirations of helping Willie turn it around? Well, Willie been doing what he been doing for 4 years. Like it ain't gonna change. Willie's gonna lose his head coaching job and then go be an assistant somewhere, and he's probably gonna do quite well as an assistant.
I don't even know.
I think he's a good assistant coach. Come on, Lex. Like he does know defense. I think he can teach some application to that and some principles of it.
That's a positional coach. Yeah, he can do that.
Yeah, I think he can help as a positional coach. He not that damn.
Nah, he over his head in terms of what we got going on with that. Yeah, he's over his head with this because 4 years is enough time for you to adjust and adapt yourself to the NBA. Every year you're supposed to be getting better in terms of a head coach and
he ain't talking about on paper.
His stubborn mentality, his inability to adapt and adjust and take in an infusion of information from his assistant coaches that hasn't appeared to have gotten any better. I mean, you would love to see him get his lead guard, which is DeJounte Murray's there. But like I said, his coaching job now is he has to win games. You cannot sit up here and just be like all cool and calm about what's going on with this team. He has to get these backups to steal some of these games, because you don't want to get these other guys back and then they have to go on a mad dash to catch up. They have to steal wins, as many as they can. And like I said, when you start getting these other guys back, you're going to get them under minute restrictions and all that. So, and then once you get your heavy-handed players back, you still have to be able to adapt them back into, your successful game plan, and then be able to use some of the talent that you had when you didn't have the big name players, and be able to see if you can adapt them into some type of bench rotation to help you keep going, so you don't wear out the guys that came back from injury, putting them back on the injury list. You see what I'm saying? You got to be mindful of that, and that's something he has to play. He has to develop a role. Like we've been saying this for a while. If people saying, "Hey man, just 8 people is good enough off the bench," no. I kept telling people that you have to go 5 for 5. Now I understand that sometimes you're gonna stagger a few guys here or there, but if you're the Pelicans and you dealing with all these injuries, you better learn to go at least 5 for 5, and every now and again dip into 2 extra. Yeah. You got to do that. You got to spread around the minutes balance so you can keep these guys fresh, because of all this stuff going on in this league, with all these heavy-handed minutes and all these injuries. You got to be able to delegate, man. Yeah. And if you can't do that, you won't survive this, man. That's the truth. Go ahead, Lex, quickly before we hit this article on Brandon Ingram, then we're going to depart.
No, I was just going to say, usually like during the regular season, it's okay to expand as far as on your bench. Get those guys some playing time, get them reps. And the thing is, that actually does help your stars, especially with this team. This team, like in that regard, you really want to use a lot of players, to help to help so the guys can last. Because that's been a problem for this organization.
Yeah.
It's been a major problem. So
Yeah.
use all the guys, but and continue to win games. But then as it gets closer to the playoffs, which that's kind of up in the air right now because we don't know how things. We don't even know if this team is going to make it to the play-in. But the goal is when you get closer to the playoffs, that's when you start to condense down.
Yeah.
And focus on guys. You see, like everybody always does that. They start to, condense down their rotation. They always do it. You see it all the time. The Warriors, you see how many guys they play? They play a lot of guys. They play a lot. But as it gets closer to the playoffs, hey, it's like, hey, man, it's time. We got to be meticulous. We got to pay attention to detail. We're trying to win. Everything matters. Like can't turn the ball over. Every play is precious and valuable. So it makes a difference. For an 82-game season, you have to get through that season. In order to do that, what do? Hey, you got bodies. That's why you have a 15-man roster, which is kind of funny because you still have a lot of old school coaches who don't really expand on their rotations and things. They sometimes they do it early, but for those that are willing to step outside the box, they typically use, okay, well, let's see what these guys can do. Might as well. It's perfect time for trial and error during regular season. So, and the Pelicans are forced to do that even now. So.
Yes, it's this is the time, man. We talk about coaching, man. When injuries and all this stuff, and you shorthanded, man, you got to do your best job because you have to win games. Like I said, the last 10 games, the Pelicans are 1 for 9 in the last 10 games. And like I said, you got to steal as many of these as you can because when your guys get back, it's going to be some, like I said, man, we're going to see how it all plays out. But I'm going to be watching the show with DC and Lex. We'll be watching. But thank you, Ryan. Appreciate you for this, man. Thank you. You're fuck too kind. Thank you, man. Appreciate you, bro. Shout out to the rest of the fam, man, here. If y'all listening, whether it's Instagram or LinkedIn or Kick or any of the other multi-streams that we got going on, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitch, it's a lot of them. X, y'all hit the like button, man, and feel free to subscribe, man. Come on over to YouTube and hit the sub button, man, and do it. Let's touch on this article right here, man. Just a few things on this article right here by one of our contributors here. Rail Wright covered this earlier today, speaking about Pelicans reeling from mounting injury crisis that sidelined several key players, including B.I., ruled out with bilateral ankle sprains. Ingram's injury, which is rare and often debilitating, could keep him out for 6 to 8 weeks or longer. This is, and like I said, this is
So
just
it's like a hamstring.
This is what they're giving. He did because Rail did sent me the links to some of the medical journals that's online that gave information about when you have a bilateral ankle sprain, and there's also what he said stages to it. It's stages to it based on what they're giving us. So we'll probably know a little more about this as the days come about what's going on with this information. But this is what he got from medical journals. The 26-year-old forward has been a cornerstone for the Pelicans this season, averaging over 23 points a game, 6 rebounds, 5.3 assists. His absence will leave a gaping hole in both scoring and playmaking. Then he talked about the hamstring issue with Trey Murphy, which he'll be back, we know, against Golden State. Second-year guard Hawkins, standout performance this season, sideline with strained lower back. Yves, who had shoulder surgery, still played tonight. Credit to him. Then put this wonderful table here about all of the injuries that the Pelicans are ultimately facing. Mentioned that Jordan Hawkins is supposed to be coming back real soon. Him and CJ McCollum supposed to be the next two guys that come back for the Pelicans, two of their sharpshooters. Herb Jones is expected to be further out. Jose Alvarado, I think it's supposed to be. We talked about some of these injuries. We keep in our own depth charts, to be honest, with the family members, because it's very confusing, fam. They kind of just, keep going back and forth to so many different people reporting on what's going on with our players. So we just started just recording stuff ourselves and keeping a timeline. And I got it written down on my desk.
Ramp up, huh?
Yeah, we do it because you have to,
because they gonna lie to you,
right? So we've learned this, and this is a shame, but we've learned this over the last several years of doing business, that when the Pelicans tell us injuries about what's happening on with people like Zion and all these, we do our own research. We start, and I do this often on the show. We'll dig into the medical journals. We'll figure out the correct timelines, because they'll give you fraudulent timelines. If we find the correct timelines, we tell you exactly what the injury is. We even, and then we will base the injury based on what they tell you in terms of the timeline. Like if they say this is this hamstring issue, and
it's going to be out 2 weeks with a torn rotator cuff.
And it's not, and they'll say that the injury is not something to be concerned about. We expect him such and such. Right. And then we'll look at the timeline and then base it on the strain or whatever the case may be. You see what I'm saying? And then that way, what the injury actually is. So we have to be like detectives in this joint, man. We can't we can't take nothing they say in terms of these players' injuries face value. We have to then go and take what they do and then reverse engineer what's actually going on. And then we really do that shit, man. So like I said,
that's sad though, bro.
That is very sad. Yeah. That is very sad. But this is what we're dealing with here, because they can't tell the truth even on the timelines of these players. They got a lie.
It's hard for you to watch your hometown team, bro.
Because
and then they still want people to come and watch the games. That's what's crazy.
Oh, they will. You got some that will. They don't care.
Like,
they got some that will.
Y'all can't tell the fan base the truth, but you still want the fan base to come to the game.
I got to actually respect you to tell you the truth. I gotta actually respect you to tell you the truth.
Don't say that, man.
No, that's the truth. That's true. That's the truth. Man. You did that. You heard how that I got to respect you to tell you the truth. But as long as you still doing what you're doing,
saying the organization don't respect the fan base, y'all.
I'm saying if they lying to you on timelines of players, that's about right.
What we gonna do, Stacy? What we gonna do? There you go.
Telling you, y'all know like I know. Don't get me talking about that game up in here. Y'all know how I be doing on the coma. But anyway, like I said, man, I'm talking about like some of the issues, like we talked about the DeJounte Murray and the McCollum and all that. The next layer of guys, according to what we're looking at to be coming back, is Jordan Hawkins and CJ McCollum. We talked about this. That's two of the sharpshooters. We thinking like we mentioned that Herb Jones and DeJounte Murray are supposed to come back around the same time. We kind of went over that and we do this live stream now, that DeJounte more than likely will probably make it back right around the same time as Herb Jones do. We still know that, like he said, and DC mentioned this partial torn shoulder muscle. I think he's saying the rotator cup issue. So that's looking like a little later in December. And the Jose Alvarado thing, there's
2 weeks. That's what they told us.
Right. And look how long it's been. So that based on their timelines that they've given. Now check this out. This is timelines that they have given us. We'll put based on their timelines now, that the Herb Jones and DeJounte Murray is supposed to be coming back between December the 5th and 6th. So you'll hear them start to mention these players. They'll throw them out to the press, and then they'll ramp them up. And they'll have a ramp up period with them coming into it, where they'll be under minute restriction. They can't play back-to-back games, all this kind of stuff. And we'll have to go on with that for a period of time. So we'll use Trey Murphy's current situation as an example of how we would treat the regular players, because we know Zion Williamson has a different whole set of actions that the Pelicans would take. His stuff is exacerbated. You would take everything is elevated and expanded when it comes down to Zion Williamson because of his troublesome injury history. So if they're telling you 2 weeks on say for instance Zion Williamson, you best believe it's going to be a month and some change. That's just this. Now, this is what they've done. I'm telling you, this is what they've done over the last 4 years when it's concerning with Zion Williamson. It was 1 year, 2 years ago when they told you it was a hamstring issue, and they dragged it all the way from early that year into saying that he was supposed to make it back by the All-Star game.
Yeah.
Then he's supposed to come back after the All-Star game. Then he was supposed to come back before the playoffs, and then he was going to come back
I
for the
was there
first
for
round of the playoffs. And then they
December.
said, "Oh no, he gonna make it back definitely by the second line." They lied that whole time and dragged that shit out, and you ain't see him to the next year. So, like I've been telling you, I'm remembering this to see they can't sit up here and say that we didn't do this. Y'all
Not
created a
supposed to
monster.
remember nothing past 3 weeks, Q. That's what they think.
All I'm saying, DC, is they created a monster. That's all I'm saying, because you're not gonna sit here and pass out bullshit information and think that we're gonna just sit here and regurgitate it. Whatever you give us, we're gonna go and research it and get the information. That's what we're gonna do, so we could tell the family members. If we don't do that, we're not respecting them. If we sitting out here regurgitating bullshit that they telling us like it's the truth and it's a lie, and then they coming back changing timelines, I would feel like crap. So I at least got to do some homework and go and research what they're telling me, so that if I give it to the people, they know that that man did some shit. He did his research on it. You see what I'm saying? And that's how we roll. I'm not gonna sit here and just tell you. So I got to go do some research and look the shit up. Like when we did the flash report earlier today, people saying, "Man, what the hell is a bilateral? What's it called? A bilateral ankle sprain?"
Yeah.
DC called me and he said, "Man, what the hell is that?" I said, "Bro, hold on. Had to do some research." I said, "DC, you know what that is? That's a guy spraining both his ankles at the same time."
Mm-hmm.
And the report said it was incredibly rare that happens. But the Pelicans had it to happen. I was like, that's unbelievable.
Yeah.
The
But did
report,
you see
several
how they
journals
ruled?
said that.
He not injured. They was out for a precaution.
He
Yeah, they
sprained
lied about
both
that.
his.
It's like in the same breath.
He's-
It's like, dog, you all are not. Y'all know it's already out, right?
No, because they thinking like they have the
They're-
press. They
They're
think like you
intentionally
listening.
creating confusion, Lex. That's what it is. It's double speak, and it's be
Double
baffled,
speak.
be baffled by my
Fam,
bullshit.
that's
Say
why
that
I'm.
again.
What it
You
is.
said
For
double
real.
what?
Double speak.
It's double speak.
speak.
Yeah,
Like
talking out
somebody
both sides of your mouth.
Oh my
they'll tell
God.
you both opposing
Double
things all at once. Like they'll say something
What
and
you
it
talking
sounds
about?
profound, but they said absolutely nothing.
And that
Basically, most of the time David Griffin talks that's what he does.
he does double speak.
Double
He'll
speak.
double speak,
He double speak.
That sounds more
give
like
you a fact. He might give
that.
you one
That
fact, and then
sounds
it's
like
more
some
double speak.
contradiction.
But yeah, he does that. He do that.
Yeah.
He does that. But he think he can flower it up a bit. Or he'll throw some
Consider
smart
all these
words.
big words.
Then he
Splitter it up a bit.
then he what he does is he'll get caught on a word, and then he'll abuse the word. He'll keep saying it over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
Because he
Like
that's
meaningful.
no, like mechanical.
and organic.
I'm telling you, I know this dude.
Sustainable.
Man, listen, fam, they can't,
I love that
man.
wordplay, man.
Man, listen, I'm telling y'all, they can't play with us with this stuff, man. Because if
Those
you
are his two favorite words.
if you can't get it right and you full of bullshit, we gonna call you out. And usually, if you bullshitting and you come in with con games, it's because you don't have a plan. You bullshit.
They
That's
still
the
trying to
reality.
figure it out. They said that.
But
Well,
the sad part
that's
though,
garbage.
man.
But hold on, DC, hold on. Let me just say this, and I'll give it to you, brother. Then we can hurry up and get on the potty because we done went long tonight. But listen, for that bilateral ankle sprains, which is you basically sprain you sprain your ankles at the same time, which is like they said it was rare. Several medical sites said that was a rare injury. The timeline for keeping you out is 6 to 8 weeks based on 3 high-ranking websites that medical and hospital websites that deal with that type of injury for athletes, not even for regular folk. We talking athletes, 6 to 8 weeks or longer, depending on the severity of the strain. 6 to 8 weeks. Just want to put that out there because they didn't give you a timeline. What we talking about now?
They said like he could have played. They held him out as a precaution.
Man, listen, let me tell you something, fam. I'm gonna tell you something. None of them journals talked about, even if they have 3 different strains there, the guy strained both his hamstrings. This is Brandon Ingram. This is a guy that's on the trade block. And they're gonna tell you, well, we could have played him if we really wanted to. What you gonna do? But anyway, go ahead, DC, finish up, bro, and then we're gonna pass to Lex.
The sad part about all of this, man, is New Orleans is a place, bro, where the people that are contributors to this team, we're such realists and we have such resilience. Like, you could actually tell us the truth. Now we gonna hold your ass accountable, but like we're reasonable people. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and the other part about it is we're such a generous people, man, and welcoming people, and we have big hearts here. That we see through bullshit so easy because we're like that. I think most people in the city, like, they generally mean people well, until they get in their feelings or get little issues or whatever. But generally, that's the big easy for a reason. Like, they're welcoming people. But man, let me tell you, when you get on the bad side, what? You got some of the most nice people, give you the shirt off their back. You don't know you from a can of paint, give you food and you meeting their family and everything. But man, you rub them people the wrong way, they won't stop till they get your ass. They will not stop till they get your ass. So they ain't doing nothing but just digging their own grave. Because when David Griffin is done here, he won't be able to be a general manager anywhere. Fucking with these people around here. Because this in the Saints organization, in all the years of sports, man, like I just have never seen anything so bad. It's almost worse than the Dell Demps era, Q, because at least in the Dell Demps era, we didn't have the illusion of actually having all of these top-notch players and be able to make the shit happen. So play the audio. Go ahead. Play it.
You went to college. You didn't talk when the professor was talking. Because you have to apologize to me. I knew that when you come in here. I let you in because you just said New York Times. I don't let you in. I'm saying anybody come in here. And normally I don't do these interviews. I do the bullshit shit you want to hear. And let you in.
I'm listening. You got me. I'm too done.
So what was the question you just said?
Oh my gosh. You gotta play that whole thing again. What was the question again?
Your boy ass out from what is
DC bust that move before. DC bust that move today. He did that shit today.
Like, damn, we went over the stats.
Yeah, but I mean, with the King thing, it was the verdict. It wasn't the tape.
You're not hearing me. See, the problem is you trying to talk with your shit. You don't know nothing instead of listening. Huh? Okay? No. I get $40,000 and I dare motherfucker. You went to college. You didn't talk when the professor was talking. Because you have to apologize to me. I knew that when you come in here. I let you in because you just said New York Times. I don't let you in. I'm saying anybody come in here. And normally I don't do these interviews. I do the bullshit shit you want to hear and let you in.
I'm listening. You got me too. I'm too done.
Okay. So what was the question you just said?
Oh my gosh, that's when you're like, look, I'm an old man.
You know that's when you fed up.
And I got stuff off my chest, but I forgot what you.
That's when you're talking to David Griffin, and he say human being. He say a good human being, and then you just go into your Dick Gregory spill. He said, "What was the question you asked again when you finished?" All I heard was "good human being."
Oh my gosh!
Huh? What's the question you asked again?
You trying to talk your stuff?
You don't know shit.
He said, "You don't talk with the professors talk."
You ain't talking.
That was a good one right there. That killed me right there.
What he said at the end, be like, "Dog."
Bro, he had at least 5-6 epic rants on that dude. The same dude that was interviewing him.
No, it was a couple of them, DC. It was another
Nah,
brother. Brother Ryan.
he
Brother
had
Ryan.
about,
Shout
he
out to
had
Brother
about 5
Ryan.
or 6 of them on Ryan, bro.
Brother
like,
Ryan. Shout out
he
to
was
Brother
like
Ryan, man.
this. He was
Yeah.
like, yeah.
It's chilling.
You trying to talk with your stuff.
What
Yeah.
was I saying
When the
again?
professor talking, you ain't listening.
He's talking about the direction of the team, DC.
I was talking about David Griffin. Don't try to trip me up.
That's still David Griffin.
What was the question again?
But anyway, man, to wrap it up, like it's a sad state because there's no reason for this shit to happen to such a great city. The great city in New Orleans, man. We deserve better. And we are real people that don't cut a lot of corners and bullshit your ass. And it's just
human
amazing to
beings.
me that we got David Griffin in the fucking front office to represent us. And ain't shit like us, man. The team does not reflect our city at all. Like nothing about it, bro.
I ain't even from the city. They don't even represent me. My personality.
Nah, it's not a blue collar. It's not a blue collar feel, man.
Matter of fact, if the team represented us, Willie Green would have never had to give the "You Got the Fight" speech. We would have already been
exactly. That's true. And then Louisiana, who is it? Louisiana boy. And then that statement would be true. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Why does a team need a coach to fire him up? There you go. You got to get personnel up in there that replicates the city of New Orleans.
And if the team represented us, it would have been given. He would have been drawing shit up on that clipboard and giving direction. It wouldn't have been no "You Got the Fight." Yeah. We don't need to hear that shit. We fighting. Them dudes over there, they got bloody noses. We done knocked a few people out. What play we need to draw up to hit this game winner?
Yeah,
you know. But anyway, man, it's gonna get right because it got to get right because it then got way too far left.
It's gonna get a whole lot wrong before it gets right.
Lex, how can it be any wronger?
Hey, ask Griff.
We traded for a dude.
Keep putting your hands in different cookie jars, buddy.
We traded for a dude to supposed to revive the team and turn everything around. And he got hurt the first game. Your player that always gets hurt went to the offseason. He did everything right, lost more weight than he ever lost. 3 games. Matter of fact, the first game of the season, he was sick. And then he came back from being sick, sluggish through that, and then got hurt, battled through injuries, played hurt, checked himself out of a game, came back, and we thought it was all right. And now he hurt. We'll never know when he comes back.
Yeah.
Brandon Ingram has injured both of his ankles at the same time.
I saw that play too. I was like, "Ooh, that looked weird." I was like, he seemed like he was walking it off though, but he was limping a little bit. But I saw that play because he caught the ball. He actually traveled. I'm surprised the ref didn't call the travel because I'm like, okay, that was like 4 steps. But you know what? The way this team is kind of performing, the ref was like, man, I ain't gonna call that.
Jose Alvarado hung around Zion and caught the same hamstring injury he got.
Jose was around the rest of the team too. You know what I'm saying? He didn't catch nothing from them, and it just went to his hamstring.
They took some elderberry, Lex.
Oh, goodness.
After they heard about it. CJ and Herb got injured in the same goddamn game.
The bulk of the injuries came from one game against the Warriors. The Warriors beat them up.
Then Jordan Hawkins continued to play out of his mind, and he hurt his back from carrying the team. It was too goddamn heavy.
And he a skinny dude. He a little dude.
I mean, it's just everywhere you look. It can't get any worse because the expectations that they had for the season versus what happened. Like you couldn't have had a worse start to the season based on the expectations you had and the offseason you had, which was centered around trading Brandon Ingram, and you pissed away every opportunity you had to do that. Like we haven't actually done anything right, really. Nothing.
Too reactive.
Well, you know what? I take that back. We did do something right. We drafted Yves Missi. I wasn't sure about it. Was on the fence about it.
They weren't sure about it.
Looking at his performance, I can say that was the right move.
Is covering Griff's behind, but they didn't know he was going to be doing all this. They didn't.
That is the only positive from the 24-25 season. That is the lone bright spot. We really don't have nothing else. Well, actually, if we keep losing, we have whatever draft pick we get to look forward to. So we do have that. But other than that, like, come on, Lex, it can't get any worse. Matter of fact, if things were to get worse, we would get happy because that would mean David Griffin would have to get fired. Willie Green would be fired or something like that. You would consider that worse? Like, everybody would be happy. So it can't get, we're at rock bottom right now.
It can, because if they fire them and bring in the wrong people, that's a whole nother turmoil on top of the turmoil that we're dealing with. But you know what? We got to be optimistic about something.
But
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I just want to touch on your point.
Mm-hmm.
Who could they possibly get that can do worse than they've already done?
Shoot, hire Bryson Graham for the head coach.
I'm just, whoever they get, it will be a step in the right direction, Lex. Even if we got to switch coaches again later, it would be better than what we got now.
We hope.
You can't get worse.
All right, DC, let Lex chime in on that quickly, so because Dick Gregory got something he got to say on that hope thing before we get ready to leave out of here.
Now you can go to Dick Gregory. You can go on and go to him.
Dick Gregory he's brother Dick Gregory is wants to talk. Lex made a comment about hope, and brother Dick Gregory wants to give his thought process on hope.
You can speak on the hope.
Okay, here go brother Gregory on the question of hope.
Ain't no hope. I don't give fucking hope, man. Hope you gonna pay your goddamn rent. Hope your car work. Come on, man. Ain't no but bullshit.
No, I'm just saying, I think a lot of black people have been brainwashed.
It ain't got nothing to do with them.
Okay.
And here, if you say I'd like to go to Paris this year, but I can't afford, you just told 75 trillion cells to see to you don't get to Paris. Huh? That's who you are. And when you find that out, when they told me I had the worst cancer you can find, I told my son, Doc, I said, don't show that to your mother, till after your sister get married. So I gave it a report. How could they do this? I said, Bill, you better get out of here. You think I'm leaving this pussy here for your high school sweetheart? You got your money. I ain't going nowhere.
All right, there go Dick Gregory.
Why Dick Gregory call his wife a bitch?
Don't work. You never heard no rich, powerful motherfucker say hope. Hope I'll win the war, but a fool. The real folks know they're going to win the war before they start, except they don't count in the universe.
All right, that's a good game. Dick Gregory.
Oh my gosh.
That's great game, man.
Oh my
This is our introductory speech when we send you to Hopium Rehab.
Yeah, you know what?
This
Save
is
this.
the first speech we let you listen to.
Anytime the Hopium comes up. Hope. What you talking
about? I don't give a fucking hope, man.
You gotta keep that one.
Hope you gonna pay your goddamn rent. Hope your car work. Come on, man. Ain't no but bullshit.
No, I'm just saying, I think a lot of black people are being brainwashed.
It ain't got nothing to do with them.
All right, shout out, salute to Dick Gregory, man. Shout out to that brother.
What are you talking about?
Molly. Molly got to listen, man. The question Lex said, we got to hope, and then Dick Gregory said,
ain't no hope. I don't give a fucking hope, man. Hope you gonna pay your goddamn rent. Hope your car work. Come on, man. Ain't no but bullshit.
No, I'm just saying, I think a lot of black people are being brainwashed.
It ain't got nothing to do with them.
Goodness gracious. He don't
And
believe, he
here,
don't
if
have
you
no
say I'd
faith.
like to go to Paris this year, but I can't afford, you just told 75 trillion cells to see to you don't get to Paris. Huh? That's who you are. And when you find that out, when you find that out, when they told me I had the worst cancer you can find, I told my son, Doc, I said, don't show that to your mother, till after your sister get married. So I gave it a report. How could they do this? I said, Bill, you better get out of here. You think I'm leaving this pussy here for your high school sweetheart? You out your mind. I ain't going nowhere. I know I'm not going nowhere. If you hope don't work. You never heard no rich, powerful motherfucker say hope. Hope I'll win the war, but a fool. The real folks know they're going to win the war before they start, except they don't count in the universe. Universe. There's no such thing as hope.
All right. All right. That's game.
I think Marley got it. He said he
Okay, got it. Well, that was pretty thorough by Brother Gregory, and shout out to the ancestor, man. That's some of the great game you laid down and left for the masses of people, man. So that we're gonna end the stream on that one, man. That's a good way to end the stream, I think, man. So anyway, big ups to the fam. I hope y'all had some fun tonight. I hope y'all had an opportunity to learn.
You gotta play Dick Gregory again. You said hope.
No.
Nah, but you did need to remind
I hope
everybody
y'all
to
enjoy
hit
it.
the like button.
Yeah, go ahead, Lex. Go ahead and march us on out. What you talk to him, Lex?
Now look here, my man. To all my brothers and my sisters in the chat. on the
DC,
street.
you taught Lex very well.
Let me tell you something. You gotta just pucker up those lips. Pucker up those lips and mwah. Okay. Just mwah, the like button. Just do that for us right here from the depth of the diaphragm. All right, it is your divine right.
You gotta kiss this.
Because it's right here from the heart, from the mind, and from the spirit. And if we can just come together as one and we can all just push the like button, I'll tell you, you will sleep well tonight. You will sleep well tonight. I promise you. I promise you, you sleep well tonight. And you feel good about yourself. Forget about all these L's from the Pelicans. Forget about it. You're going to sleep well at night if you just push. Just push. Kiss the like button.
All right, there go Alexis. This is the Black Panther. Jesus Christ. All right, we out, man. We're gonna holler at y'all on the next one, man. We'll holler at you on Friday. We'll see you for the Golden State matchup, man. Much love. And how I go, Lex? Wakanda forever.
Wakanda forever. Wakanda forever.
All right, y'all. We holler at y'all. Peace.
What you gotta say, dude?
You're listening to the Pelicans Postgame Report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
Ain't no hope on my fucking hope, man. Hope. Hope you gonna pay your goddamn rent. Hope your car work coming down. Bullshit.
I'm just saying. I think a lot of black people
Ain't gonna lie, I'm
it ain't got nothing to do with them.
We stay ballin', this New Orleans, I'm a Pelican. It's going down in the nest, wild, wild west. Come in town and you best show us some respect. 3-point threat, I better make it rain. If it's something, don't jump stupid like your ankle sprain. Always said, never hate the player, hate the game. Jumping where the dame late, punch a train. Post game, Big Q, talking about business. Bird gang, YouTube, they ain't flocking with us. Lock up the division mission, get into the finals. Finish competition, then it's going win the title. I know this flyer than you can get. Such a threat that the ref just might call a tag. You could double, you could press, but you can't check. Right, left, slide by you like a Eurostep. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever. And never, and never, and never, and never, and never, and never say birds of a feather flock together. Yeah, fly down, I'm a Pelican forever.
TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember, it helps the platform continue to grow. Check out the Pro Shop and Who That too.